The Big 12 has showcased some exciting signal callers in recent years. Two quarterbacks continue the tradition. Texas Tech's Kliff Kingsbury. He does it with his golden arm and has rewritten the conference record books. The eye of the Cyclones, Iowa State Seneca Wallace. This whirlwind travels to pay dirt by land and by air. It's a Big 12 battle of the quarterbacks. Kingsbury, Wallace, next on TBS. They've tied their highest ranking in Iowa State school history, and this year's homecoming at Ames is an enthusiastic one as fans have embraced the Cyclones. Welcome to Big Play Saturday, presented by Best Buy and T-Mobile. Now they share the lead in their respective divisions, and they are two of the most prolific offenses in college football. Today they meet before one of the largest crowds in Iowa State history in a key Big 12 battle. It's number 11 Iowa State playing host to Texas Tech. Hello again, everybody. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Ron Thulin. This is going to be entertaining, but it could also take a while, as these two teams have combined for over 900 yards total offense. They both average about 40 points a game. They both have a couple of quarterbacks that won a Heisman Trophy. Let's start with Texas Tech. Kliff Kingsbury. He is Mr. Comeback for the Red Raiders.
He's done that very well this year, too, starting out earlier this season against North Carolina State, where they were down big in the fourth quarter, brought them back to overtime where they lost by 3. But last week, boy, was he sensational against Texas A&M, down 35-17 going into the fourth quarter. He brought the Red Raiders back and capped it with a touchdown pass to Nehemiah Glover. And with the extra point, the Red Raiders beat Texas A&M again, and Kliff Kingsbury is truly on fire. 5 touchdown passes, over 83% throwing the ball. He's truly the man in Lubbock.
Well, the man up here in Ames, Iowa, is a guy by the name of Seneca Wallace. Now, Florida State's Bobby Bowden, he says, I can compare this guy to Michael Vick and Charlie Ward. Hefty comparison, but I think it is a true comparison.
Yeah, and if you want to add someone from the Big 12, Craig Bohl, the defensive coordinator from Nebraska, says it's like trying to tackle the wind, trying to tackle Seneca Wallace. And he's another guy who's up for all the national awards as a quarterback. And believe me, he's a great athlete, but thinks of himself as a pure quarterback, and he should. He can throw it out of the pocket as well as escape it and run it. But when he breaks pocket and breaks contain, he's truly looking to pass the ball downfield. He's a talent to watch, and we're going to have fun watching him tonight.
Well, let me pick your brain a minute, Charles. Now, when you have these two high-powered offenses like we have right now tonight, you would think that you cannot waste any possessions in this football game.
And you would be accurate. The one thing the two coaches agree upon is that they can't waste any possessions. Each time they have the ball, they need to try and capitalize, because neither one of them wants to put their defense in a position where they have to make a stop against such talented quarterbacks.
Well, let me tell you, Charles, Iowa State is riding a 5-game win streak. That is their longest since 1980, but what they're looking at right now is breaking a 4-game losing skid to Texas Tech. The Heisman belongs to Seneca. Well, he'll have a chance to show his wares on national TV tonight against Texas Tech.
Wednesdays are unbelievable on TBS Superstation. First, it's an all-new, all-true Ripley's Believe It or Not. Kelly gets caught in the world's biggest food fight. He's making a killing as a modern-day headhunter. And you'll keep asking for more peanuts on this flight. Then, on worst-case scenario, an incredible rooftop jump to escape from danger. Know what to do if surrounded by sharks. And could you escape from the trunk of the speeding car? Unbelievable Wednesdays. Wednesday at 8 Eastern, 7 Pacific on TBS Superstation.
Dude, I haven't seen him. He was supposed to be here an hour ago.
Can anyone here play the bass?
Oh. Is there a bass player in the house?
Jack Daniel's Original Hard Cola, a premium malt beverage as unique as the people who drink it. Come as you are.
planet that only knows fear meets a hero that has none. Star Fox Adventures, only for Nintendo GameCube, rated teen.
Honey?
Could your house use another computer? Then call 1-800-GATEWAY or come to your local Gateway store. We have desktops starting at $6.99, notebooks starting at $9.99, and no payments until 2003. Call now for great deals. Gateway, a better way.
TBS Big Play Saturday, brought to you by Best Buy. For the latest technology, turn on the fun at Best Buy. By the United States Army, an army of one. By the new fajita trio, only at Chili's, like no place else. And by NCAA Football 2003 from EA Sports. It's in the game. A day of showdowns in college football. Number 9 FSU taking on number 9 Miami Seminoles behind Greg Jones, 191 yards, up 27-14 in the fourth. Back come the top-ranked Hurricanes. Jason Geathers with 5:17 to play. They're up 28-27. Once again, a battle between these teams comes down to a field goal attempt. Xavier Badia from 43 yards out for an FSU win, and this one is wide left. And Miami escapes 28-27 over Bobby Bowden's Seminoles of FSU to take it home. And the Sooners, with about 3 minutes to play, leading 35-17 over Texas. Coming up here on TBS Big Play Saturday, should be a great one. Get ready to light up the scoreboard with Iowa State and Texas Tech on TBS. Come on, baby, go!
Reviewing our last fiscal year, the numbers from January were slightly better than the numbers from February. However, the numbers in January were identical to the numbers in March. The numbers in April were slightly lower than the numbers in March, but identical.
Like playing games? Come to Best Buy, where you can play the latest video games and try out a lot of other cool stuff. Best Buy. Go ahead, turn on the fun.
Kirk, you can take the helmet off. Whenever you're ready.
Mind if I stand? Yo.
I'll get it.
You guys getting this or what?
Send in your 1-minute audition tape to the Discover Card Gets You on Game Day Challenge. If you win, you'll appear on College Game Day and go to the BCS National Championship. Visit your local Best Buy for details.
Miami, home of the FSU sandwich. Rivalries. Ain't college football great? Play NCAA Football 2003. EA Sports. It's in the game. Rated E for everyone.
TBS Big Play Saturday is presented by Best Buy and Discover Card. It pays to Discover, so use your Discover Card to buy the latest stuff at Best Buy and turn on the fun. Jack Trice Stadium holds 45,000. They're expecting 50,000 on a windy and cold Saturday night. A beautiful night for football and to see Heisman hopefuls Kliff Kingsbury and Seneca Wallace. With more on Wallace, here's the third member of our broadcast team, Craig Sager.
With a difficult schedule that began in August against Florida State, Iowa State was apprehensive toward promoting Seneca Wallace for the Heisman. But after nearly pulling off the opening upset, falling a yard short, Bobby Bowden said next to Michael Vick, Seneca Wallace is the best player his teams have ever faced. 5 wins followed with such accolades as the best playmaker in the country, a genius with the football, the best we've ever seen. And then 2 weeks ago, it's next against Nebraska, Iowa State's biggest win since 1899. Nebraska coaches, he's like tackling the wind. Well, the stage is set for a Heisman campaign. These shirts will hit the newsstands on Monday, promoting Seneca for the Heisman. And then there's a videotape, not yet completed, hoping to add big plays from tonight. They'll be sent to every Heisman voter in the nation. Seneca Wallace, seeing is believing. Now to Erin Andrews.
Okay, Craig, well, the Iowa State fans are really catching on to this Seneca Wallace Heisman hype.
In fact, 8 of the fans are starting a new trend. It's called the Wallace Fan Plan. Now, what they're doing is it's kind of a spin-off from the character William Wallace in the movie Braveheart. They're wearing plaid kilts to all the home games. And this idea is really catching on because the woman that made these kilts, she's getting more and more calls every day. More people want to be part of the fan plan. Guys, this is a great idea, but I'd rather wear those kilts in 80 to 90 degree weather, you know? Back up to you, too.
Charles wants to wear it tonight, but that's a whole other story.
Yeah, and if you're a real Scotsman, you know how you wear those kilts.
That's exactly right.
Au naturel.
Hey, you can see it's 55 degrees, but the wind chill, they say it's 50. It feels a lot colder than that. Temperatures are expected to start sliding to the south quickly, and by the end of the game, we could be in the high 30s. Tony Yelp set to kick it away. Iowa State won the toss, and they deferred. They're kicking with the wind. Ivory McCann says he doesn't like to take a knee in the end zone. He has no choice on this one. And Texas Tech will begin the first possession of the game on their own 20-yard line. Their offense, number 3 passing offense in the NCAA, and their quarterback is making a pitch for the Heisman.
Kliff Kingsbury from Texas Tech, graduated with a business major, and offensively we're going to spread them out, throw the ball around, try and take some shots downfield, and put some points on the board.
Now, they've been doing that the last couple of games. The last 4 games averaging almost 47 points a game. Last 3 games over 540 yards. Kingsbury's first play from scrimmage, the short dump underneath. Up to about the 28-yard line, and the pass is complete. Be about 2 yards short of the first down as we take a look at the rest of the offense. At running back for the Texas Tech Red Raiders, Torian Henderson. He is also a very good receiver. 13 receptions versus A&M. Wide receiver, 17 have caught passes. Welker is Mr. Everything, 39 receptions for Texas Tech. Preston Hartfield, only one in the backfield. Kingsbury. Hartfield can't put his hands on it. And we know right away exactly Texas Tech's strategy. This is what Mike Leach did at Oklahoma. He's continued it with Kliff Kingsbury, those short little passes.
And Torian Henderson had trouble handling the ball. The weather may be a factor. Texas Tech has poo-pooed that notion all week that weather will be an issue. We'll find out as the temperature continues to drop.
On third down, they keep it on the ground with Henderson. Nothing doing. Matt Ward coming up from that middle linebacker spot to make the stop. Ward is a tough cookie. Joined by Tyson Smith.
Interesting, a team that likes to be wide open and throw the ball all over the place on third and short elects to try and run the ball inside. It's almost as if they have a split personality. You know, the book says run the ball inside on third and short, but this happened to them earlier in the year against Ohio State, and many people point that to being a momentum stopper. They went for it like that. Maybe they should continue to throw the ball.
Greathouse punting into the wind, and that ball gets about halfway up in the air and puts the brakes on. And Iowa State will have great field position, only a 21-yard kick for Greathouse. And Iowa State will take over with their first possession of the ball game. Yeah, you look at Iowa State, Seneca Wallace. This is a young man, and I think when you look at the highlights of him, he has such a command of this offense, much more so than he did last year.
And what I like about him is his presence. We met him yesterday. Very calm, very self-contained, not overly emotional, not caught up in the hype, just like the manner of the young man when we met him.
Wagner left side, picks up a couple of yards, gets close to the 45, and he is pushed back. They are going to be running what they like to call left-handed tonight. They want to run over that left side.
Yeah, left side anchored by Casey Shelton, number 71, their left tackle. Bob Montgomery, number 65, their left guard. And their center and their emotional leader is Zach Butler, number 68. He's the guy that they talk about all the time, getting the team hyped up, what they call cyclone talks, where he'll get up and talk to the team before each ball game. And he always has a lot to say.
He is an emotional leader. Pick up a 4 on the play, 2nd and 6. Wagner breaks through inside the 35 down to the 33-yard line. Ryan Aycock, the junior out of Lubbock, coming up with that stop from the strong safety spot.
Steve Brickey, the offensive coordinator, told us yesterday that one thing they wanted to do was make sure they got their running game established. Simple zone play, into zone blocking up front, meaning everyone just matches up man on man up front. Beautiful 12-yard sprint by Michael Wagner to get things started for the Cyclones.
That gives Wallace some room to work, has 3 wide receivers to the right. Goes from the shotgun. Wagner joins him in the backfield. Wallace keeps it on the option. Inside the 20, down to the 17-yard line. Erin Hunt on the stop. That is something that Iowa State really wanted to work on for tonight's ball game. They said they've been running it more effectively when Sage Rosenfels was quarterback.
And the reason they felt they ran it more effectively with Sage Rosenfels is that teams didn't prepare the same way because they didn't believe that Rosenfels was the same running threat. This year, every team they play prepares for the option because they know Seneca Wallace is an option each and every time he has his hands on the football.
There's big Erin Hunt, the senior out of Denison, Texas. They're keeping an eye on him as far as Iowa State's offense. They keep it on the ground again, and it's Wagner. Boy, if you're Steve Bricky right now at Iowa State and Dan McCarney, you are excited because you don't have to throw the ball. You're keeping it on the ground. There's Bricky right there.
The offensive coordinator for Iowa State.
Fans, this telecast is available with Spanish translation via the SAP button on your remote control. Announcers are Jose Medellin and Marcelo Godoy.
Notice the 2 receivers close together. They're trying to avoid getting jammed at the line of scrimmage. Danielson in motion.
They keep it straight ahead. Wagner again. They're setting up that reverse to Danielson. You can see him kind of sneaking in that backfield, Charles.
Setting up the reverse and the option, using him as the pitch man. Because Seneca Wallace on the last option he ran, they used a wide receiver coming back in short motion. So we take a look at Dan McCarney, who truly has done a phenomenal job here at Iowa State. We often overuse words, phenomenal, terrific, great. I don't think we can reach for the proper word for what he's done here at Iowa State.
In his 8th year, second as far as longevity goes for Iowa State coaches, which tells you something how their program has gone in their 100+ years. 3rd down and 2. Keep it on the ground again. Wagner barrels ahead, gets close to the 5, and that should be good enough for a 1st down. Lawrence Fluges, the senior out of Klein, Texas, from that middle linebacker spot. He's led the conference in total tackles the last couple of years, comes up with the stop.
Yeah, if you're going to locate the football, just watch number 51 in white, because he's always going to be around it. Came into the ball game with 101 tackles. Last year had over 150 tackles. Truly a tackling machine. He's going to have to make a lot of stops closer to the line of scrimmage to help his defense.
Wagner is going to be stuffed and may have lost a yard on the play. Brian Aycock coming up strong from that strong safety spot. This is an area, too, where this Texas Tech offense, my friends, is very potent. 88% of the time they score in the red zone. Texas Tech, this is not one of their strongest parts.
No, on defense, they really struggle in the red zone themselves. 20 of 23 times teams have been in the red zone. They've scored touchdowns 20 of those, all 20 times that they've been, that they've gotten points. So this is a time that they really are looking to rise up and make a stop. It's very tough to do against Iowa State and Seneca Wallace.
Yeah, they lost 2 on that play. 2nd and goal, we'll call it at the 7. Wagner gets the corner. Inside the 5, down to about the 4. They're going to mark it at the 3-yard line. Ricky Saylor, the senior out of Tampa, Florida, from that quarterback spot to make the stop.
I think what Steve Ricky, the offensive coordinator, is going to like about this drive, just no telling how it's going to turn out, but what he has to like is the physical nature of this drive. We asked him yesterday about his offensive line, and he said the 2 times they have not run the ball well this year, they've gotten taken care of up front physically. Iowa handled them on the defensive front, as did Troy State. They want to see that change today.
2 tight ends in the lineup now. Knock and Sagan for our Iowa State. Wagner in the backfield. Wagner may have gotten down to the 2, and again it is Flugents making the first contact. Raymond Pierce from the free safety spot, the junior out of Rialto, California.
I know the fans are calling for them to go for it, but they have the wind in their favor right now. Good time to kick the football. Rather than trying to go for it on 4th and 2, that's a lot of yardage to make in a goal line situation. I think this is a good call by Dan McCarney.
Well, Adam Beneke is called in. 9 of 12 right now for field goals this year. Casey Baldwin's the holder. They're spotting it at the 9. It'll be a 19-yard attempt. With the wind. High snap, but he brings it down. He splits the uprights. So Iowa State on their opening possession does exactly what they had hoped to. Put points on the board, 3-0 from Ames.
Scusa. Cappuccino.
Okay, breathe. This is Jen, and she has the sudden urge to learn Italian. Who can help? The Italian Institute in Chicago. Carry on.
Hello. How do you say, hi, my name is Jen. Now be a good boy and come over here and sit on Mama's lap.
This is going to take a while. Now get the most minutes to use whenever. Introducing T-Mobile. Get more.
Never before has an American sailor drawn so much attention to his sport. Dennis Conner, captain of the Stars and Stripes and 4-time winner of the America's Cup, faces off against 6 European and 2 American teams in this year's Louis Vuitton Cup Challenger races for the America's Cup, only on OLN. The winner gets to challenge Team New Zealand, the defending America's Cup champion. The losers go home empty-handed. Over 300 hours of intense, unprecedented coverage. The Louis Vuitton Cup, September 30th through January 15th, live 9 to 11 nightly, only on OLN Adventure TV.
Ever wondered what it's really like to be a soldier?
What do you got? I have a sit rep from Alpha Company. PT, ready to be verified. Verified.
Put yourself in the picture with this free video. You'll see over 200 great jobs in the Army and over 180 in the Army Reserve. You'll also see what skills you learn, how you can earn money for college, even what soldiers do in their free time. Call 1-800-984-ARMY now and get this free t-shirt and your free video. Put yourself in the picture and see what it's really like to become an Army of One.
Number 11, Iowa State by a field goal over Texas Tech. And last week, the EA Sports Preplay predicted Texas Tech would win in a close game. However, fans voted that it would be a close game as well in favor of Iowa State. 31% predicting Iowa State would win in a tight match. And so far this year, EA Sports has a record of 2-1. The fans have a record of 1-2. Still plenty of football left, as they say. Now Iowa State doing a little moving around as they get ready to kick it away. Tony Yelp kicking with the win. Ivory McCann again standing in the end zone. As Bob Prince would say, kiss it goodbye.
Notice that formation of Iowa State. The only reason they do that kind of scatter formation, is to keep the blocking assignments from being set by Texas Tech on the return.
Now, one of the problems that Texas Tech has had this year, slow starts. We know about the great comebacks, the fourth quarter and the overtime, but they have not been able to put it in gear early on.
Can I be Mike Leach for a moment?
You may.
But we don't really think that they're slow starts. You guys think that way, but the numbers speak otherwise, and you're right. They do need to come out and get their offense established on this drive.
Welker moving around. Kingsbury throws it out on the flat. Pass is complete. Welker, one of the toughest guys you'll ever see play in that position. Now let's take a look at the rest of the lineup for Texas Tech on the offense side. As you mentioned, Henderson, good receiver. You'll see him catch a lot of passes tonight. And of the wide receivers, Welker, he is Mr. Everything, 39 receptions on the year. The centers and the guards, senior Rex Richards at right guard is our big nasty this week. And Casey Keck, very solid at that right tackle spot. And we've got an Iowa State player down.
In the last play, it looks like Jordan Karsten's one of their stalwarts up front on the defensive line, one of the great stories. It is seemingly one of the great ones of many at Iowa State. A former walk-on, built himself up from 228 pounds as a freshman to 300 pounds now, and has a whole rooting section of people that'll wear number 92. And he got hurt pursuing the play, as a good defensive lineman will do. You know, it's a lot of guys on the defensive line, they'll stand up and kind of butt up against guys, and once the ball goes away, they don't figure it's their play anymore. Jordan Karsten's got up, pursued the ball on the quick pass to Wes Welker, down the line of scrimmage, helped make the tackle downfield, and probably had a couple of guys kind of bump into him. I don't know if legs got him, you know, maybe he got leg whipped in there. You know, hate to speculate, we just hope that he's okay, but, you know, just a quick point, the last pass to Welker, it goes down as a run, not a pass, because it became a lateral, not a forward pass. See, Karsten's, he's number 92 over the top. As he hits the ground, let's see what happens. A couple other guys make the tackle. Not sure if he hurt himself when he maybe hurt his back as he went over. Not really sure, but he's limping off, and that's not a good sign for Iowa State.
That's a big loss, because Carson's is the hoss on that defensive line. He was third team all Big 12. There's John Sladany, the defensive coordinator, used to be with Sonny Lubick years ago, and he kind of equates the two, that this defense that he has now, kind of like Colorado State when he was with Sonny, saying these guys just believe they can beat anybody now.
Yeah, he said Colorado State 1994 had that same belief system in themselves that he sees here now in Ames, Iowa.
Now back to action, 1st and 10. Kingsbury into the flat, floats it, perfect timing pattern. Clay McGuire comes up with a catch, his 8th of the year. Boy, you look at Kliff Kingsbury, and this is a young man we've had the pleasure of watching for 3 years. We've saw him progress over the years. He's got a great touch on the ball.
He does, and the way that he throws the football. Watching the middle of the line, number 91 here, Tim Tabrink. He's a defensive lineman. Zone blitz. Notice how he circled and he goes back. That's when you hear about zone blitz, a defensive lineman coming out of a rush situation back into the secondary to help cover while someone else blitzes. Didn't work very well that time, but look for more of it today.
2nd down and 1, and Kingsbury again puts it up, and again it's complete to Wes Welker, the junior out of Heritage Hall High School in Oklahoma City, a small high school. This is a young man that's built himself up. He's only 5'9", but he is a rock-solid 190 pounds, 120 yards of receptions against Texas A&M.
As well as great return yardage. I believe he had 166 yards in return and punt return yards, including an 88-yard touchdown just last week.
There you can see the records: 37 school, 12 Big 12, and an NCAA record, which came last week. Now they keep it on the ground. Henderson breaks through down to about the 36-yard line. Torian Henderson, the redshirt freshman out of Gatesville, Texas, averaging a shade over or under 5 yards a carry. And there's Mike Leach, the head coach.
Watch the blocking here. Everyone blocks this way. Henderson goes that way, going back against the grain. You see the hole open. Great call by Mike Leach on 1st down, because that's normally a throwing down for Texas Tech.
Every down's a throwing down for Texas Tech. A little spin move for Henderson. This time he's able to pick up about 3 on the play.
Spins for Texas Tech.
Henderson, an explosive young man. They also have a couple of tailbacks we're going to be seeing, but you know, we joke about it, but for Mike Leach, every down is a throwing down. 3rd down and 1, 3rd down and 2, doesn't matter.
And that's why I was so surprised in the first series on 3rd and short that they actually tried to run the ball inside and were stuffed.
2nd and 8, they keep it on the ground again, and again it is Henderson. Anthony Forrest comes up from the strong safety spot to make the stop. Jordan Karsten's on the sideline trying to walk things off.
There he is right there, number 92. Big guy. And you know that if he's able, he'll go back in. So you know right now he's hurting.
Yep. 3rd down and 3.
Then Texas Tech has him spread out. Get Henderson out of a position to run the football.
Here comes the blitz. Kingsbury reads it, passes it, incomplete. No, intercepted. It is intercepted. Looked like it hit the ground. But Ellis Hobbs III comes up with the pick. That is his 2nd of the year.
Watch Welker, number 27. He's going to be the primary receiver, and the ball's going to glance off of his hands. And Hobbs, with a great play, gets both arms underneath. Clean interception for Iowa State. And that's one of the, if you want to call it a criticism, one of the tough parts in this offense of Texas Tech is that they dink and dunk so much that it's hard to get downfield sometimes. If a ball is tipped, of course, that can happen in any offense. Ball goes up in the air, tip drill for the defensive backs.
Yeah, we want to thank Allstate for providing tonight's goalpost cams. You're in good hands with Allstate. Wallace thrown across his body, and the pass is incomplete. Intended for Lane Danielson,
Pass intended for Danielson,
the junior out of Dike, Iowa. There is something that this man does probably better than any quarterback in college football today, throwing across his body on the run.
And as a very difficult task to get accomplished, because all the twisting and turning, you have to find a way to get your body square as you're throwing the football. And when you're trying to do it as a right-handed quarterback running to your left, that's one pass that many coaches just try not to call in tough situations because not many people can get it done. Seneca Wallace does.
That's the numbers without the sacks thrown in there, which of course takes yardage off. They look for the option, pitches back. Wagner, running room, over the 30, up to the 33-yard line. Michael Wagner out of West Covina, California. Big Play Saturday is presented by T-Mobile and Best Buy. And we welcome you again to Jack Trice Stadium in Ames, Iowa. Along with Charles Davis, Craig Sager, and Erin Andrews, I'm Ron Thulin on a crisp and cool October evening before a crowd of over 50,000 on hand to watch this old-fashioned shootout between a couple of great quarterbacks, Seneca Wallace and Kliff Kingsbury. Wallace swings it out in the flat. Pass is complete. Jamal Montgomery, his first reception of the night, the junior out of Long Beach, California.
A little shotgun that time for Seneca Wallace. Had 3 receivers to the wide side of the field, and they used two of the receivers as blockers as he just threw a little swing pass out to Montgomery, hoping to use those guys as kind of a shield, just trying to get him a crease so he can get into a gap and get downfield.
Pickup of 8 on the play, sets up a 2nd and 2. Closing in on 5 minutes to play here in the first quarter. On the ground again. Left side, Wagner breaks through again. And he gets into Texas Tech territory. Aycock and Pierce coming up from those safety spots to make the tackle. Here we are blowing smoke that Dan McCarney is going to be throwing the ball around, you know, with Seneca Wallace, and now they're running the ball.
But what are Dan McCarney's roots?
That's
University of
right.
Iowa running the football. Ever since he's been at Iowa State, he's always had a 1,000-yard rusher or more. If you're Troy Davis, 2,000 yards. 7 consecutive years. He loves to run the ball, and Texas Tech has the 94th rated run defense in the NCAA.
Play action. Wallace swings it out into the flat, and it is incomplete. Intended for Jack Whitver, the junior from Grinnell, Iowa. Let's send it down to Erin Andrews.
Okay, Ron, well, we've been talking about all the hype Seneca Wallace has been receiving. Well, now he has MTV following him. They're doing True Life, I'm a Heisman Trophy candidate. It's kind of a reality show. They've been following him around all week to his dorm, his classes. They even went to Target with him. They're pretty much going everywhere but watching him sleep. You know, Seneca, Anna Nicole Smith, they've all got the reality shows.
He doesn't look like an MTV guy, though, does he?
No, and believe me, I'm going to watch Seneca's show. All right? The other one, I'm skipping.
No, we'll pass on that. Wallace being chased, thrown across his body, has a man, incomplete. Overthrown, intended for Jamal Montgomery. You know, as we came into this game, Charles and I were talking earlier this week. We said, okay, let's figure out who our candidates are for the Heisman Trophy. We came up with these. Maurice Claret, how can you not like the man?
Yeah, I mean, look at the good names that we're seeing. We saw Jason Gesser, you know, just a couple weeks ago. Willis McGahee from Miami, they escaped today. Charles Rogers, who I absolutely love, but his team isn't winning games right now. And we're seeing 2 of the best tonight in Kingsbury and Wallace. Should be a lot of fun to watch this one.
From the shotgun, 3rd down and 10. Wallace rifles the pass, and it is dropped. Inside the 40, down to the 37. Whitver looked like he had a shot at it, couldn't hold on to it. And Seneca's pass just a little bit low for Whitver.
And they challenged the #1 cover guy, Jose Leo Hansen, number 12 for Texas Tech. Hansen got a win this time. And for Dan McCarney and his team, they come away empty on a possession after having pretty decent field position. Not something that'll make them very happy.
Tony Yelk set to kick it away, and that is a very dangerous man standing back there. Wes Welker on his own 10-yard line. Here comes the pressure. How he ever got that off. Welker at the 11. Crosses the 20, run out of bounds at the 22-yard line, 38 yards on the kick, 11 on the return. But look at this pressure. Charles, how did he get it off?
I'm not sure. It's almost smoke and mirrors. You get the sense they just closed his eyes and punted, and the punt blocker just overran him.
For the first time on TBS Superstation.
We have a possible weapon of mass destruction coming into the United States. I'm going to need a military liaison with intel background and Russian contacts.
George Clooney.
In the field, this is how it works. Good guys, we chase the bad guys.
Nicole Kidman.
Forget Chernobyl, this is huge.
10 hijacked nuclear warheads. They've only found 9.
We cannot stop this. Never.
The Superstation premiere, The Peacemaker, Sunday at 8 Eastern on TBS Superstation.
I am a soldier. An army of one. Even though I'm a part of have the strongest army in the world. I am my own force. And when it comes to me and my team, every link in the chain is strong. I am Sergeant First Class Brian Berkeybow, and you can see my strength.
When you travel on business, don't downsize. Amerisize at AmeriSuites. Need more room to spread out? Get more workspace and features like Dataport telephones. Plus, unwind in a suite for the price of an ordinary hotel room. And when it comes to breakfast, don't downsize. Amerisize. Get AmeriSuites' free bountiful breakfast buffet every morning. Now join AmeriSuites Prime Rewards. New members get double points and double miles through November 15th. AmeriSuites. Don't downsize. Amerisize.
3-0 is our score. Number 11, Iowa State leading Texas Tech with 4:18 left to go in quarter number 1. And our 1st and 10 line is brought to you by Home Depot. 3 wide receivers to the right. Welker moving. 1st and 10 for Texas Tech. A little shovel pass. Henderson skips across, tries to keep his feet as he nears the 30-yard line. Now let's send it to the big game house with Ernie Johnson.
Thank you very much, Ron. Penn State and Michigan going overtime today. Penn State kicks a field goal in OT. Michigan responds with a Chris Perry touchdown run, and the Wolverines win it 27-24. Penn State now 4-2, both losses in OT. Ron?
Ooh, I tell you, that'll age Joe Pa, won't it? I'm telling you. Now pickup of 8 on the place, or 2nd and 2 now. And again, Kingsbury throws it out of the flat to Welker. Gets the 1st down as he crosses the 35 up to the 37-yard line. I tell you, that is the key for these Texas Tech receivers, what we like to call YAC, the yards after catch. Every one of them do it so effectively.
And that's why Kingsbury has a lot of the numbers that he has, because there aren't as many balls going downfield as one might imagine in such a high-powered offense. For the 2nd time tonight, he hit Wes Welker in the backfield, and our statisticians are telling us that's another running play. I'm sure Texas Tech will count it as a pass play, but it looked like a long lateral.
Pickup of 6, pressure's on. Kingsbury just has to throw it away and short hops it. Here's Craig Sager.
Well, you may be wondering where defensive tackle Jordan Karstens is. Charles Davis was exactly right. He did hurt his back when he was trying to pursue that play. Mark Coverly, the trainer, worked on it, put a heat pack on it. He said it was a bruised back, nothing serious, and they're trying to get it to loosen up, and he expects to go back in.
Well, I tell you what, you're going to need a heat pack down there,
Yeah,
Siggs.
I was about to say.
Did you snag one of those?
He's got a 2nd one. Go get it. You see Jordan Carson's jumping up and down in the midst of the pile on the bench.
Not a kind of night you can stay loose because the wind chill is dropping quickly. They keep it on the ground. Henderson. Good job by that Iowa State defense that has come on so strongly under John Skladany over the years. This is a defense that was small. They were slow. They didn't have the talent 4 years ago. And Skladany just kept pumping these guys and pushing them. And boy, they've gotten to where they're very respectable. You can see the numbers so far this year.
And you mentioned a great point, continuity. They kept running their scheme and just kept recruiting better players to run it. That's why their defense has continued to improve.
On 3rd and 8. Kingsbury has time. Pass just out of the reach. Incomplete, intended for Anton Page, the big 6'4" senior out of Royal Palm Beach, Florida. That ball looked like it floated as he was throwing into the wind, didn't it?
It doesn't matter if you have a howitzer back there throwing the ball into this wind. It has a chance to float. And what Iowa State did was rush 3 and drop 8 on that play. The reason they were confident enough to do that, their corners, Ellis Hobbs, you saw him there making the play, number 11, and Ateef Austin are excellent cover guys. They may be only 5'8", but they feel like they can run with Texas Tech's wide receivers. So they don't mind giving Kingsbury a little extra time on occasion to throw the ball so he can cover downfield.
Todd Miller standing at his own 25. It's a fake. 1st down, Texas Tech, and then some. Inside the 40, down to the 37-yard line. Great play by Ryan Aycock. Took the short snap, and he scampers for the 1st.
Well, Mike Leach has always been known as a little bit unconventional, a little unorthodox, does not mind gambling. Catches Iowa State in the perfect spot. And look at number 17, Anthony Forrest. He never saw the fake. He went out to take his responsibilities for blocking, turned out to be a 25-yard gain, and Texas Tech's in business now.
Mike, unconventional?
To put it mildly, right?
To put it mildly.
But it's often been successful for him, hasn't it?
Very much so. The man who has his law degree coaching football.
Look at the bunch formation there.
And they swing it out to Welker. Crosses the 30, gets down to the 25-yard line. Ellis Hodge knocking him out. This is vintage Mike Leach offense.
Yeah, and the reason I circled that to show the alignment, 3 guys there, right? Well, the first 2 just go downfield and block. So as they go downfield to block, that gives Welker the opportunity to catch the ball on the screen. He turns it into a 14-yard gain. And again, that could go as a running play, not necessarily a pass play.
Once again, the yards after the catch. Kingsbury up to the 20, down to about the 19-yard line. Again, it is Welker. Steve Parris on the stop. Well, fans, you can vote for tonight's U.S. Army Players of the Game, powered by America Online. All you have to do is log on to tbssuperstation.com or AOL keyword Big Play and cast your vote. Right now, that man's in the running. Kingsbury already passing for over 100 yards, and we're not even out of the first quarter.
And he's going into the wind.
Looking for the screen, sets it up, and it wasn't there. Did not develop because big number 91, Tim Tabrink, he is the one who broke things up from the get-go. We've got a player down.
Looks like Rex Richards. He's the heart and soul of Texas Tech's offensive line.
Once again, it is crisp out there. Now we talk about that offensive line at Texas Tech. They call it the Fat Boy Club. You got to love that. Actually, last year, the wide receivers called themselves AFRO, which stood for America's Finest Receivers on Saturday. They are the second biggest offensive line in college football as far as average weight to Fresno State, I believe.
Yeah, and they're the guys that you can't measure on the normal scales. You have to take them to the local grain factory to make sure that you get the proper weights. And this isn't good either. Rex Richards not putting a lot of weight on the heavily bandaged right knee already. See the big brace on it to begin with? So here's hoping that he's able to go over and get some treatment and return to the game.
Well, his backup is Cody Campbell, a sophomore out of Canyon, Texas. Now they face 3rd and 7 into the wind. Once again, inside of 2 minutes to play here in the opening quarter.
Look at Texas Tech splits trying to widen you out so that you can't bunch up in the middle against them.
And they bring 5. Kingsbury reads it, throws it in the corner. Pass incomplete, intended for Page. Knocked away by Harold Lewis, the junior out of Missouri City.
What I love about the end of this play is that both players are fighting for position, and the officials let them both fight for the ball. See that? No advantage gained by either guy. Bump each other head to head, and then both go for the football, and Lewis ends up winning the battle at the end because the ball seemed to hang up a little bit again going into the wind.
Well, Lewis gave up 8 inches to Page, and now Texas Tech with a field goal attempt. 37-yarder into the wind. Yes, barely. That goes under the heading of a gnat's eyelash. Robert Trice with his 8th field goal of the year. No style points in field goal kicking. 1:42 to play in the first. We are tied at 3.
Yeah, I just did them.
Time for a new appliance? It's the Home Depot Appliance Event. This weekend only, get no payments and no interest on appliance purchases till January 2004 with your Home Depot Consumer Credit Card. Plus, get free delivery on appliances of $3.99 or more. The Appliance Event, going on now at the Home Depot and Expo Design Center.
Hey, check out what's coming to TBS. It's the Peacemaker, in case you're wondering. That is what's coming to TBS.
Sure.
Along with Charles and Craig and Erin, I'm Ron Thulin. Welcome you to a cold night here in Ames, Iowa. Iowa State now goes back on offense. Not much running room for Lance Young, the junior out of St. Louis, Missouri. And Iowa State will take over 1st and 10 from about their own 27-yard line. Now, if you're Iowa State, here you have that big 25-30-mile-an-hour win in the first quarter. You only hang 3 on the scoreboard. That is not going to do it.
No, advantage Texas Tech. Their defense was able to hold in there, forced a punt. And then also Texas Tech was able to capitalize after the fake punt themselves and get 3 points, so we have a tie ball game. Mike Leach has to be very happy at this moment.
One of the keys for Iowa State tonight was get the run game going. They've been able to do that. They just need to put points on the board. Now Texas Tech defense stacks up Hiawatha Rutland. Our first look at the junior from Bradenton, Florida. Hiawatha is their leading rusher, averaging just over 4 yards a carry. Pretty good receiver also. They come back with this 1-2 punch in the tailback. That's the good news. The bad news is neither one of them have separated from each other, either Rutland or Wagner.
And actually putting their streak of 1,000-yard rushers in jeopardy because they're sharing carries and sharing yards, not one guy chewing up both.
Then you throw Brian Thompson in the fray, you got 3 guys. Now Rutland and Wagner both in the backfield. Wallace is going to be sacked. Lawrence Flugents with his first sack of the year. That is only the 9th sack on Seneca Wallace this year. You know, and today we were talking, you look at Flugents' number, only 2.5 tackles for a loss, no sacks. Now he finally gets his first.
And it's one of those things, you look at him, with all the tackles that he has, you would figure he'd have a few more so-called big plays, cause fumbles, sacks, you know, tackles for losses. Maybe he heard us in our production meeting as he picked it up, the 10th sack of the year for Texas Tech as a team.
You could see the numbers. He is a good one, though. Loss of 6 on the play, sets up 3rd down and 16. Wallace seeing pressure. Throwing, and he doesn't have anybody within 10 yards of that one. Well, there's Greg McMack and the defensive coordinator as we look over to the sideline. Rex Richards on the cart. They're looking at that right leg. We'll get an update as soon as it becomes available to us.
And to really examine him today, they might have to take him inside because he's got such a taped up foot, kind of spatted up. They might want to take him inside to cut it off, to take a good look at it.
Well, the good news is Iowa State has 9 seconds to get this kick off, and you're kicking in with the wind. So Tony Yelk will have a little bit of an advantage. Here comes the pressure again, and a line drive kick. Welker's going to pick it up at the 25-yard line. He'll skip out of bounds at about the 35. 53 yards on the kick, 9 on the return. And that's the end of quarter number 1. We were expecting some offensive fireworks, but all we have are a couple of field goals. Number 11, Iowa State, tied with Texas Tech at 3.
Introducing 3 grilled favorites on one sizzling skillet. Chili's new fajita trio. Marinated chicken fajitas, spicy shrimp, and barbecued ribs.
Chili.
Sooner size that Buffalo Burger. Rivalries. Ain't college football great? Play NCAA Football 2003. EA Sports. It's in the game. Rated E.
You have the ultimate power to look better, to be stronger, to redefine your body and yourself. Introducing the Bowflex Ultimate. Quite possibly the best home fitness machine ever made. In as little as 20 minutes a day, 3 times a week, you can get real results that can change your entire body. With over 90 health club quality exercises and up to 410 pounds of resistance, it's like having an entire gym in your home. Bowflex is so effective that we guarantee you'll get the results you want in 6 weeks or less. Own the new Bowflex Ultimate with no money down and monthly payments lower than many health club dues. Call and ask for a free video and brochure, and check out the entire Bowflex lineup, or visit us on the web at bowflexultimate.com today. The new Bowflex for ultimate results.
Tied at 3, number 11 Iowa State and Texas Tech in Ames, Iowa. We are just about to start quarter number 2, and Rex Richards being taken back to the locker room. Craig Sager, do you have an update on his condition?
Yes, I do. They're taking him back for x-rays. They do have x-rays here, facilities in the stadium. They put a boot on it for a split to give him extra comfort, and also in case there was a serious injury, we'll have the results shortly.
All right, Craig. Henderson up the middle, crosses the 45, over the 50, down to the 40-yard line. Atif Austin coming up from that left cornerback spot. That is an explosive run by Henderson. This is a team that only rushes for about 97 yards a game, 105th in the country.
Watch again the linemen with these big splits. They get the blocks there, and then Henderson just slides his way up through the gap, reads it well. The second time we've seen this play is busted for big yardage for Texas Tech.
This is a wake-up call for this Cyclone defense. Once again, they had a bye week after that emotional win over Nebraska. Not playing physical right now. Kingsbury gets hit, floats it up, and it'll be out of bounds, intended for Welker.
Number 1 Tyson Smith forced the completion because they had Welker wanting to run him on an out and up or a wheel route. But Kingsbury had to get rid of it, account too fast, and ended up throwing it towards the sideline more rather than downfield where Welker wanted to continue his route.
You can see what they've done already tonight. They're plus 12 over their season average.
3 receivers into the boundary now. Let's see if they use a motion man going across. See the 3 right here. And they've moved Henderson up for a run.
He checks it off to a run, and Henderson goes nowhere quickly. Anthony Forrest coming up from the strong safety spot. In that first quarter, against the wind, we saw a really good tempo by this Texas Tech offense. Kingsbury seemed to be in a rhythm. Now, can they sustain it? Because that's been a problem.
Well, tempo is something they put an increased emphasis on this year as we look at Mike Leach, the head coach on the sidelines. After their first 2 ball games, they felt that they weren't moving fast enough, so they made it a priority, moving faster in drills and practice and on the field. And they felt that has only helped them as the season has gone on.
3rd down, Texas Tech 0 for 4 so far tonight. Iowa State showing blitz. They bring 4. Here comes a 5th. Kingsbury running for his life. Throws it complete. Running out of bounds at the 35-yard line is Clay McGuire, the sophomore out of Crane, Texas. And that is his 2nd reception of the evening. Matt Word put on the pressure on Kingsbury, flushing him out of the pocket.
And you know what this offense does for receivers? It teaches you never to give up on a play, because they know that Kliff Kingsbury will hit anyone who's open. So guys, when he's flushed and moving out of the pocket, guys try and find an open spot and make themselves available, as McGuire did on the last play.
Now they're going for it on 4th down. It's 4th and 5. This is the 14th time Mike Leach has gone for it on 4th. Kingsbury, the little look in, tipped away, incomplete. Jeremy Lloyd, the strong side linebacker, the senior out of Pittsburgh, Texas, got a hand on it, and Iowa State will take over.
Well, in a quick 3-step drop trying to throw the slant, you have to have hands down. Watch the linemen as they set up the block here. They don't chop down the defensive front for Iowa State. See how Jeremy Lloyd, number 41, is able to get into the air? You have to cut his legs out from under him, put him down, so his arms can't get up and into the throwing lanes. He's able to bat it away. Iowa State takes over on downs.
Well, that's their best defensive stance so far tonight. Now can they do something with it offensively? Wallace has been quiet so far tonight, going against the wind. Keep it on the ground. Straight ahead running, Hiawatha Rutland. Crossing the 45 up to about the 47-yard line. We'll give them 11 on that play.
I'm getting a pretty good indication that Steve Bricky, the offensive coordinator, got with his offensive line coach Marty Fine and said, we need to challenge our offensive line, and we're not taking no for an answer this week. We are running the football, and they've been very physical all game long, punching holes in the Texas Tech defensive front. Well,
they wanted to establish it. They're doing just that. On 1st and 10, Wallace on the option, and great job by the Texas Tech defense. They read that perfectly. Rutland tackled by John Saldi, the redshirt freshman out of Southlake, Texas. John Saldi, son of Jay Saldi.
Yeah, the former tight end for the Cowboys. You notice who they ran away from. Backside pursuing number 9, Aaron Hunt. And tried to run to the short side, really, with the option. A lot of action, but not much in terms of the game.
That's right.
As a matter of fact, it was a loss.
Loss of
Good
4.
pursuit by Texas Tech's defensive line.
5 defensive backs now in for Texas Tech. 2nd down and 15. Wallace from the shotgun. They keep it on the ground. Straight ahead running again to Rutland. Interesting call. But Pricky did tell us yesterday, the offensive coordinator, I'm not stubborn. If the run isn't working, we will go start putting the ball up in the air.
But right now you get the sense also that he's going to be a little bit leery about where he throws the football going into the teeth of this win. There's Steve Pricky, the offensive coordinator for Iowa State. He'd love to throw the ball more.
Yep.
But right now the run has been working for the most part. Last couple plays notwithstanding, and now he's throwing into the teeth of a 25, 30-mile-an-hour wind. He will be careful with the football.
Sets up a 3rd down and 11, and Wallace will go from the shotgun. Iowa State brings 5. Wallace reads it into the flat, complete up to the 45-yard line. Stretching for those extra yards is Jamal Montgomery.
He's going to be a little bit short, but a beautiful throw. Wind dies down a little. Watch Montgomery go downfield, and he's going to go and hook up. And when he hooks up, the ball is delivered perfectly. But what a nice tackle by Joselio Hansen, number 12.
Yeah.
Put him down right on the spot, which is what you want out of a defensive back.
Well, Montgomery went to the 1st down marker, and then he came back 2 yards. That's why he was short. Now they're going to bring in 2 tight ends. 4th down, they're going for it.
Run option a couple of times already today.
4th and 1, we have flags and whistles, and they'll back them up. That's a good play, because 4th and 1, you might as well go for it because you're going into that big win.
On the offense. 5-yard penalty, remains 4th down.
And now you punt it.
Our referee is John Bible.
And Coach McCarney's not happy at all on a 4th down play. You see how upset he is? You know what he's telling them? You guys always tell me you want to go for it on 4th down. Well, then how can you jump off sides and have a legal motion when I grant you your wish?
Yeah, Coach McCarney said he had one of his better tirades, though, at halftime of the Iowa game. I heard it was a 3-clipboard halftime speech.
Yeah, I understand it actually made the Richter scale here in the state of Iowa.
Even the players said it was one of the better ones. Here's the punt by Elk into the wind. Not a bad kick, a driving kick. Welker at the 5, and he is going to be dropped at the 2. Great play by Iowa State. Ellis Hobbs III coming up with a stop.
One of the few mistakes that Wes Welker will make on a football field. When you have to catch the ball over your shoulder going away, should have let the ball hit and go into the end zone in a tie football game from Ames, Iowa.
A Sports Illustrated Guess the Cover game sponsored by Philips Electronics. The NHL team on this week's cover of Sports Illustrated has won the Stanley Cup 3 of the past 6 seasons. Can you guess who it is?
Your memories are priceless. So why not preserve them on a format that can stand the test of time? DVD is the best way to make your memories last. And with a Philips DVD recorder, it's simple. Record directly from your television, VCR, or camcorder. No extra steps. Now you can play and record DVDs on the most compatible format around. Act now, and for a limited time, you'll get 10 free DVD recordable discs, a $65 value, when you purchase a Philips DVD recorder at Best Buy. Some memories were meant to last.
Got to admit, it's getting better.
Preserve them with a Philips DVD recorder.
All the time.
The NHL team on this week's cover of Sports Illustrated has won the Stanley Cup 3 of the past 6 seasons. Did you guess who it is? It's the Detroit Red Wings. For a chance to win a Philips DVD recorder so you can preserve your favorite sports moments, play the Sports Illustrated Guess the Cover game sponsored by Philips Electronics at cnnsi.com/covers.
Welcome back to Ames, Iowa. Texas Tech takes over with 10:49 left to play in the half. 1st and 10. And they're on their own 3-yard line. Kingsbury looking, has time. Dumps it off, pass is complete. Henderson makes his way over the 5 up to the 6-yard line. Matt Word, the senior out of Miami Southridge High School in Florida, with the stop. Matt Word, whose brother plays for the Cleveland Browns, his brother Mark. This is a young man that when he was a freshman, he was thrown to the wolves in this Iowa State defense. But that was really the turning point for Iowa State on the defensive side, when the seniors said, we've got to start playing.
And he learned from them, and now as a senior, he's one of the leaders for the Iowa State team.
Pick up a 4, 2nd and 6. Kingsbury's pass knocked away at the last minute. Hobbs taking it away from Anton Page. That's an interesting matchup because Hobbs is 5'7", Page is 6'4".
And in this case, height didn't matter because he just sat on the short route. Else Hobbs never got back and retreated. Got a little jersey in there.
Got a piece of jersey.
You know, but, as an ex-defensive back, I have no problem with that.
You better not. That brings up a 3rd down and 6. Kingsbury's been sacked 25 times this year. 6
defensive backs for Iowa State.
They only rushed 3. Pass complete up to the 13-yard line. Wes Welker. That'll be good enough for a 1st down. Here is a guy, Welker. I tell you, you just have to be impressed with this little fire plug. You know, he's gained 15 pounds, doesn't look like a football player. He gets off the bus, nobody goes, wow.
Yeah.
But the guy can play.
And his coach, Mike Leach, compared him with a cartoon character in what he called a high compliment, called him Henry the Chicken Hawk. The kind that's never daunted, kind you say, build me a door, and he comes back with a house.
That's right.
He's that kind of a guy. Loves Wes Welker.
Timely throw, timely catch by Kingsbury.
Showing blitz. See if they call it off or come with it.
Here they come. He checks off to the run. Henderson. He is going to be surrounded as he gets back to the line of scrimmage. Karsten's back in the lineup. The big junior out of Bagley, Iowa. Population 344. Has a little hitch in to get along, but he seems to be all right.
I mean, you're a big defensive lineman. You don't want to miss any of the fun the other guys are having. And whether you have a hitch or not, it doesn't matter. But in a obvious pass situation, they're pulling him off the field, hoping to get some more speed rushing right now since he has a bad leg.
He is a tough cookie. No gain on the play. 2nd and 10. Swing it out. Left side. Trey Haverty. The right side penalty flag is thrown. Haverty, the sophomore out of Richardson, Texas.
What if you get a hold on that play? It was a swing pass with 2 wide receivers leading. Oftentimes in the block, they'll hold downfield.
Yeah. Not a lot of penalties for this Texas Tech team. They only get penalized about 7 times a game. And considering how much motion and running around and no huddle, that's pretty impressive.
They have a lot more discipline on this team than maybe people give them credit for, because you have to be a disciplined team to avoid that many penalties.
That's the first penalty tonight against Texas Tech.
Holding on the offense. Half the distance to the goal line from the spot of the foul. Repeat 2nd down.
Now there's 41-year-old Mike Leach, the pride of Cody, Wyoming. We asked him, how exciting was that Texas A&M game last week? He said, well, I had a pretty exciting game when I was a sophomore in high school. We beat Laramie in triple overtime.
He also talked about that one Pop Warner game he was involved with, too.
He's got a good memory. Now 2nd down and 14. Ball is on the 9. Kingsbury, look out. Shovel pass. Iowa State reads it. No gain on the play. Henderson is surrounded and another player is down. Brandon Brown is holding his against off its wrist.
Yeah, on a cold night such as this, a lot of things are going to hurt when you collide with someone. And what is interesting about this play is it was a shovel pass as a last option, not a designed #1 call. Kliff Kingsbury was looking downfield. He saw Brandon Brown, looks like a wrist, as he got involved in the tackle inside. And the trainers are going to look him over and hopefully get him off the field and make sure he's all right. But you know what I'm saying on that last play? How many times have you ever seen a shovel pass be a 2nd or 3rd option? Often it's your first option. I mean, most of the time it's your first option.
That's a credit though to Kingsbury to still be wide awake and see that It's not going to work one way, it goes the other.
But the thing I think of is Mike Leach designing that play.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, that's not one that you get every day. So we see the quarterbacks here. As you mentioned, not a lot coming from Wallace right now, but they're running the ball a lot.
And a lot of Kliff Kingsbury's completions have been counted as runs because they've been laterals. Third down, we'll call it 14. Iowa State only sends 3. Kingsbury has a lot of running room. Now pulls up. Gets up across the 15, up to the 17, and he is hit hard.
And that's another reason that John Skladany, the defensive coordinator, feels comfortable sending 3 and dropping 8. He doesn't feel that Kliff Kingsbury is a great running threat. So he doesn't think on a 3rd and long situation that if they cover the receivers downfield, that Kingsbury will use his feet to run for a 1st down. And that was shown to be true on the last play.
I think Kliff's a better runner than he was last year, though.
Yeah.
I think he's really improved in that area.
But for his team who goes against the Seneca Wallace every day, Kliff Kingsbury won't scare him getting out of the pocket.
Great half set to kick it away with the win, and he booms it. Miller at the 40, penalty flag, halo rule is called. And I think we're going to go a whole game without saying we don't like the rule. How's that?
No sense in saying it now.
No, not going to do it. 43 yards on the kick. The Dan McCarney squad will get a couple more yards because of the penalty. Good solid officiating crew tonight from the Big 12.
Kick catch interference on the kicking team. 10 yards from the spot of the foul. 1st down.
That's a pretty famous name in Texas Bible, huh?
Yeah, when you talk
DX
about college
Bible?
football,
Yeah.
DX Bible, the longtime great coach in college football, Hall of Famer.
Dan McCarney isn't happy. His team's played a quarter and some and only tied up at 3 with Texas Tech.
There's a place where mink hats and primates are all the rage.
Hey, that monkey's got a Ross on his ass.
And everyone loves to dance.
Permission to Cabbage Patch, sir.
Say hello to TBS Superstation's non-stop comedy block.
It's like it's coming right at me.
Finally, the greatest comedies all crammed into one place.
Did you eat a big bowl of ugly this morning? Bite me.
Drew Carey, Home Improvement, Friends, and Seinfeld ×2.
Oh, there was no pig. I did not pick.
The non-stop comedy block, weekdays at 4:30 Eastern, 1:30 Pacific on TBS Superstation.
Without a Yamaha ATV, you're not going very far. The Grizzly 660 Automatic from Yamaha. The only ATV with push-button front diff lock and 4-wheel independent suspension. The Grizzly 660 Automatic. Where you go now is up to you. Now get a Warn winch with select models plus 0% financing on every Yamaha ATV.
Tonight, you become a man. They're young.
To our fathers, we're nothing but errand boys.
They're hungry.
Who has the money?
And they've got something to prove.
Just tell me where I can find a little trouble in this town.
Yeah, he'll do.
They're the new mob generation.
Consider yourself a tough guy.
Barry Pepper, Vin Diesel, Seth Green, with Dennis Hopper and John Malkovich.
Showtime.
Knockaround Guys. Rated R. Now playing.
Tied at 3, number 11 Iowa State at home against Texas Tech. 8:16 to play in the half. And our 1st and 10 line is brought to you by Home Depot. Well, Iowa State 1st and 10. Ball's on right on the 50-yard line. Wallace from the shotgun. Finds a big opening. He is dangerous as he crosses the 45 down to about the 42. Tim Tabrink, the sophomore out of Alton, Iowa, on the stop. TBS Big Play Saturday is presented in part by T-Mobile. With T-Mobile, you get more from life. Get more minutes, more features, more service. And we just saw how dangerous Seneca Wallace can be. He is like a running back when he gets in the open field. 2 wide receivers to the left, 2nd down and 2. See the total yards so far. They keep it on the ground to Wagner. He is dumped right as he gets to about the 40-yard line. We'll see where the spot is. Flugens and McKinney coming up to make the stop. And it looks like they'll spot it just, I'd say, a half a football short.
Quarterback sneak here.
I'd say so.
That'd be my call.
Be the smart play, huh?
unless they want to take a shot at it. But with the wind, I'd be leery about it.
Well, they're going to keep it on the ground straight ahead, and I don't think they got it. Great defensive surge by Erin Hunt and company on that defensive line of Texas Tech. Flugent's also coming up from that middle linebacker spot. Right now, where John Bible is spotting it, it is about 6 inches short. They had to get to the 50-yard or 40-yard line, and they are short.
Went for it before, but an illegal procedure call wiped it out, wiped out the attempt, and they had the punt. Looks like they're going to go for it again.
They bring in a couple of tight ends inside of 6:40 to play in the half. 4th down and 1, tied at 3.
They still run Seneca Wallace on a short sneak.
There it is. He leans forward, and I think he got it. The Texas Tech players are saying no. If he did get it, it's not by much.
I'd be surprised if he didn't get this one.
He went right underneath everybody. Well, they're marking it right on the 40-yard line, and the fans don't like the spot. My goodness. Dan is upset, and can't blame him. They may have held him. They had to get a shade over the 40-yard line, it looks like now. This would be excellent field position for Texas Tech. Look at that. It's short of the 40 where they placed it. Ooh, talk about a spot, huh? Well, he got it.
First down, Cyclones.
Well, the key is they got the first down.
Yeah.
The fans want them to get it by more.
That's right.
It appeared that he got there, although you can see where Flugent's coming over the top. Put a big whack on him and stopped him in his tracks.
So the drive stays alive as we're closing in on 6 minutes to play here in the opening half. Wallace to Montgomery, spins away from one tackle, gets back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. Good pursuit by 71, Lamont Anderson, the senior out of Irving, Texas. That's what you want from your defensive line. Look where the ball is and run to it.
We saw that out of Jordan Karstens for Iowa State earlier. We're seeing the same thing out of Texas Tech. Their defensive front as the game continues.
Lance Young now split wide to the right. Whitver and Danielson on the near side. Looking for the option. They've got the option. Wagner crosses the 40. Breaks through to the 30. We have a penalty flag throw. Wagner exploding through that left side. Raymond Pierce coming up to make the stop.
I think they might have gotten Lane Danielson, number 82.
Holding on the offense. 10 yards from the spot of the foul. Repeat, 2nd down.
So it comes down the line. Nice pitch. Wagner's got a gap. I think right back in there, number 82, Lane Danielson, as the defender pulled the spin move, kind of exposes you sometimes if you got a hand caught in there.
Whitver doing a nice job also.
You have to have good blocking on the corner from your wide receivers in order to have a good option.
Yeah, sends him back 5 yards, closing in on 5 minutes. We expected a lot of fireworks. Instead, we got a pretty close football game. 2nd down, we'll call it 15. They keep it on the ground. Hiawatha, Rutland, nothing doing. Lawrence Flugents, that is why he leads the NCAA in tackles.
Tackled by Lawrence Flugents for Texas Tech.
Now let's take a look at this week's Jack Daniels original Hard Cola flashback. We take you to Nebraska, Iowa State. Seneca Wallace to Lane Danielson. That covered 3 yards and paid her. And then Seneca decides to do it with his leg from 7 yards out. And when you win a big game, the obligatory Gatorade plunge. Final was 36-14. Wallace ran for 2 touchdowns, threw for another, and they did not tear down the goalpost because they are indestructible goalposts here at Ames. Wallace on 3rd and 14, scrambling, looking for the corner. Upended, great open field tackle by Hansen. The senior out of Inglewood, California, coming up from that cornerback spot to make the stop. There's a young man who's playing with a little chip on his shoulder. He didn't get all Big 12 last year and should have.
Yeah, was one of the top guys in passes broken up last year. And we've seen him cover already tonight, but we've also seen him tackle well. That's two great open field tackles we've seen where he's put down the runner in his tracks.
Tony Elk standing on his own 46-yard line. Welker back at the 9. Line drive kick again into the wind, and that'll go into the end zone. Yelk has done a nice job into the brisk breeze. Timeout, 3:28 to play in the half, and we are still knotted at a field goal.
Introducing 3 grilled favorites on one sizzling skillet. Chili's new fajita trio. Marinated chicken fajitas, spicy shrimp, and barbecued ribs.
Chili. Come on, Dad. How much longer?
I'm almost done.
What are you doing in there?
Daddy's doing his business, honey.
You're not the only one who needs to use it. Honey?
You can't rush these things.
Could your house use another computer? Then call 1-800-GATEWAY. We have desktops starting at $6.99. Great deals on notebooks and all the cool stuff you need to get the most from your new PC. Call now and we'll custom build the perfect system for you. Gateway, a better way.
I'm out of paper. Honey, are these clean?
Yeah, I just did them.
Time for a new appliance? It's the Home Depot Appliance Event. This weekend only, get no payments and no interest on appliance purchases till January 2004 with your Home Depot consumer credit card. Plus, get free delivery on appliances of $3.99 or more. The Appliance Event, going on now at the Home Depot and Expo Design Center.
Now we've brought our soapbox to Ames, Iowa. Let's see who jumped on it this week.
I am the Cyclone Commander! Anywhere you see the Cyclones, you'll see this face! Hey, Kingsbury, Britney Spears is here, baby! What are you gonna do? You're gonna lose! We knocked off Nebraska, we beat Iowa, and all of a sudden, everybody knows who we are!
Lindsey Bell is our winner as Kingsbury drops it over the middle. Pass is complete up to the 25-yard line to Henderson. Henderson had 32 receptions coming into the game. By the way, tonight's winner of the Rant receives an EA Sports Pack and is eligible to join Ernie live at the Big Game House on November 23rd. So congratulations to Lindsey Bell. But my man in Washington State last week, heads above everybody. Okay, this guy, next week, you Cal fans got to show up for this. You got tough competition from our boy in Washington State last week.
We just hope he's in good enough shape to handle it if he wins.
Right. Kingsbury swings it out of the flat to Welker. Welker crosses the 30 up to the 32-yard line. Matt Word on the stop.
Good completion. Nice inside-out pursuit by Matt Word, number 7, in making the tackle. Read the angle, maintained it. Nice tackle.
No huddle offense now. How about 25 consecutive games with a reception for Wes? That's good enough for a first down. 1st and 10 from the 32. Kingsbury, plenty of time. Flush from the pocket. Takes a slide as he goes to the 40-yard line. Not before he picks up 8 yards on the play. Here's Craig Seger.
Well, the offensive line continues to play without Rex Richards. We do have good news. The x-rays were negative. He is now standing on the sidelines, actually telling the coaching staff that he wants to play in the second half. He's a tough kid.
How about the Mohawk, though, huh?
Understand he's getting married later on this year.
Say goodbye to the Mohawk, bro.
His fiancée, all she's worrying about is whether or not it will grow back in.
That's right. Inside of 2 minutes, Texas Tech trying to put something on the board with the win. On the ground, Welker with a rush. Doesn't get anything. Matt Word on the stop. Here's Erin Andrews.
Well, you and Charles were just talking about Rex Richards' Mohawk. And guess what, Ron and Charles? For $9 at Supercuts, you can have a hairdo just like that. He said he did it on a dare in August. Now, he's nicknamed the team's Bulldog, and he pretty much will do anything he's dared to. And you're right about his fiancée. She wants that grown out by their wedding day.
I wonder if it doesn't grow in, will she have a wig for him to wear on the blessed day.
117 in the half. Kingsbury trying to muster something, throws it low, incomplete. Ball was trapped. Carlos Francis, the junior out of Fort Worth, Texas, covered by Austin on the play. That brings up a 4th down and 5, and Mike Leach's team forced to kick it away. You know, we talked about squandered opportunities on offense, Charles. I think both teams have squandered opportunities offensively tonight so far.
And I think what Mike Leach and his offensive staff of Texas Tech are seeing is they may have to take some shots downfield a little bit more. Iowa State sitting on the shorter routes run by Texas Tech right now.
This will be returnable from the 25-yard line. Miller looking for someplace to go. Penalty flags all over the place. And he gets up to the 35-yard line, 40 yards on the kick, 12 on the return. But there's some laundry laying down there.
Kick situation, block in the back, hold.
Illegal block in the back on the return team. 10 yards from the spot of the foul. It'll be 1st down.
TBS Big Play Saturday brought to you by the new Fajita Trio, only at Chili's, like no place else. And by Philips. Stay sharp on the game with a Philips digital widescreen projection TV. 56 seconds left to play in the half here in Ames, Iowa. We expected fireworks, and they've been all fizzle so far tonight as we are tied at 3. It is a cold night. It is a windy night. The numbers for Seneca Wallace, but one thing about Wallace, they're not trying to force anything right now. You know, you're saying, why don't they open it up? They're too conservative. They're sticking to their game plan. Right side, not a whole lot doing again. But there's going to come a time, I think Seneca Wallace will have to open it up.
And you notice the strategy now of Texas Tech. If they get a stop, they're going to use their timeouts, hoping to force Iowa State to punt into the wind and get one more shot at it with the ball and the wind at their back before the half is over.
How about those numbers? 46.8 points a game the last 4. He's got a field goal tonight. Once again, though, the caliber of competition also has increased, I think, a little bit tonight, although not taken away from A&M's defense last week.
No, and also the schedule that Texas Tech has played thus far, opening it at Ohio State, Ole Miss at home, which beat Florida last week and won again today and is now in the top 25. Texas A&M on the road, the wrecking crew, which came into the game, number 3 in the NCAA in defense, giving up less than 10 points per ball game, and they put 48 points on them. So they played high caliber defenses all year long. But, you know, tonight with the wind, you know, with Iowa State, who's playing well on defense thus far, this has not been an easy day.
And it's also, you know, goes back to what we talked to Mike about earlier yesterday, starting slowly. He said, I don't want to basically hear it, but that's the truth.
The fourth quarter has been their quarter. He thinks because of conditioning and their no-huddle offense, he just doesn't want to wait that long to get started.
Well, Iowa State 2nd down and 8, inside of 50 seconds to play in the half. Wallace bumps complete over the 20 up to the 23-yard line. Well, stick around for our Chili's halftime. Ernie will be at the Big Game House catching you up on all of today's action. Scores and highlights including Oklahoma thumping Texas. Texas came in favored in that game, and I'll tell you, Bob Stoops, Mike Stoops, Brett Venables, the defense they put together, they put a hurt on Chris Sims again. And when I get back to Texas tomorrow, I'm anxious to see what the papers say about that. Looked like OU's got their number.
It was a heck of a ball game, really, for about 3 quarters before Oklahoma was able to extend and go on to the victory. For about 3 quarters, it was awfully tight.
You can see Dan McCarney's record, and he is the poster boy for coaches that need time. I think every athletic director in the country needs to take a look at the Dan McCarney story. Kudos to Gene Smith for sticking with him. In his 5th year, Dan wasn't sure if he was going to be back, and Gene stepped up and said, no, I understand what you're doing. I appreciate it, and we're going to stick with you.
Yeah, I love that. And right now, they're ranked number 11 in the nation. You notice the last 2 years before, they've gone to bowl games. If they go to a bowl game this year, and we expect they will, the first time in Iowa State's history they've gone to bowl games 3 consecutive seasons.
Well, Now 3rd down and 2. Now they'd like to go to the 1st down marker. They keep it on the ground with Wagner. And another timeout is going to be called with 35 seconds to play in the half. So Iowa State had an opportunity to run things down, did not get it done. He cannot be happy with the effort in this first 30 minutes so far. Well, tonight's pre-play is created with NCAA Football 2003 from EA Sports. It's in the game. Here's next week's pre-play. Cal against UCLA up 7-0. Kyle Bowler finds Terrence Dotsey for the score. 14-0 Bears. The Bruins come back. Tyler Abell, who takes it on the ground. We're tied at 14. UCLA in control in the second half. Corey Paz finds Mike Seidman in the end zone, who holds on despite the big hit. Tough win for the Bruins on the road, and you can log on to easports.com. Cast your vote on the outcome of next week's game, and be sure to join us at 7 o'clock Eastern to find out the real outcome. EA Sports, it's in the game.
Texas Tech strategy worked. They stopped them on downs. Now they're going to force them to punt. I expect them to set up a return, because the worst thing that can happen now is to run into the kicker and have all of your strategy blow up in your face. They want the ball in Kliff Kingsbury's hands one last time.
10 on the line. Yelk gets it away. It's a low kick. Welker right at the 40. Takes a couple of blocks, gets up over the 45 to the 49-yard line. We've got a penalty flag going to be thrown. It'll be against Texas Tech. Little extracurricular activity right in front of the Tech bench. And Mike Leach going over and talking to the players saying, what are you doing? We got great field position here.
After the play had ended, there was a personal foul on the receiving team. That's a 15-yard penalty. It'll be 1st down.
Is it Damian Chandler?
I saw number 14, and we have 2 14s listed. I believe number 14 there, Damian Chandler.
I didn't do anything.
At the end of the play, you'll notice the blocking was set up for Wes Welker. He tries to make a move, but right down here at the end, watch these guys. This is where it all happens. Because right at the end of the play, there was the last push off to the left, bottom left of your screen. That's where they got the penalty. And what do they say about the best laid plans?
There you go. And all of a sudden, you lose a couple yards, though. Now they have 24 seconds to work with. They're on their own 38-yard line. Kingsbury again wide open up over to the 45-yard line to the 50 into Iowa State territory is Carlos Francis, the junior out of Fort Worth, Texas. And that is his first reception of the evening. Pickup of 21 on the play. Clock is stopped. Now it's running. Kingsbury spikes it. And that was a pretty quick start on the clock. I mean, they got to the line, and before the official even blew the whistle, it went from 15 down to 14. I think Kingsbury looked up and said, wait a minute.
That is part of the Big 12 mantra, though.
Yeah,
to have
keep
the
it
game
going.
Move along, get the ball spotted, get it back in play. All the teams should be pretty aware of that, because that's been in effect for the last few seasons.
And this is when Kliff Kingsbury is so dangerous. 2nd down and 10. 12 seconds left.
The 4 receivers, see if they go with 4 verticals up the field.
Iowa State rushes 3. They throw it into the flat to Page. Heads for the sideline and scampers out of bounds. Ellis Hobbs the 3rd chasing him out. Now he has 6 seconds left. Now they have to go vertical. I don't think you want to try a field goal because they're spotting it at the 42. It'd be a 59-yarder.
Trice's long for the year is 45. Robert Trice, their field goal kicker. He will have the benefits of the wind.
Now they're bringing Kingsbury back in.
Feel a lot better with that guy throwing it, don't they?
And John Scoldani's defense has done a great job telling everybody to move back. He's got a halo at about the 10-yard line of players.
See, this is the Hail Mary with the 3 receivers to the wide side of the field.
Kingsbury looking, throwing, going in the corner of the end zone. A bunch of bodies. Incomplete. And that's the way the first half will end. So Kliff Kingsbury and Seneca Wallace, the battle of 2 Heisman hopefuls. Neither one able to get on track so far in the first 30 minutes. And as they head to the locker room, only field goals scored tonight, 3-3. And here's Craig Sager.
Well, Coach, we thought there'd be a lot of big plays, not many here. Why can't anybody get anything going offensively?
Well, defensively, both sides are playing with a lot of tenacity. They're making plays. We've got to execute right now. We're out of sync on offense. We've close. We had a good running game going, but we got to get our throwing game going because we can throw and catch pretty good. We sure aren't so far.
Is the wind a factor?
No, I think both sides are playing with the wind's really not a factor.
Okay, wind not a factor. Not a lot of big plays. The score 3-3 at intermission, but a lot of action at the big game house. So let's go to EJ.
All right, thank you very much, Craig Sager. Miami and FSU today. The top-rated Hurricanes with their hands full as Greg Jones rushes for 191 for FSU. They're leading 27-14 in the fourth, but here come the Hurricanes. Jason Geathers, 11 yards, 28-27. Miami has the lead, but FSU has a chance. Xavier Badia from 43 yards out to win the game. And he's going to be wide left. Miami wins by 1. FSU and Bobby Bowden trying to reason with Hurricane season. Oklahoma 35-24 over Texas in the Red River rivalry. The Big 12 scoreboard today. Take a look at this. Kansas State 44-9 over Oklahoma State. El Roberson ran for a couple and threw for a couple in that game. Texas A&M picked off 5 passes in a shutout of Baylor. Nebraska 24-13 over Missouri. And Colorado got 309 rushing yards out of Chris Brown in a 53-29 win over Kansas. And with that, we welcome you to the Chili's Halftime Report. I'm Ernie Johnson at the Big Game House. Look, I went to Georgia. Charles Davis, you hear him walking with Ron Thulin. You know, he went to Tennessee. I could gloat, but I won't. We'll have highlights of Georgia and Tennessee. Also, the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame, still unbeaten. And the Pac-10 shootout, eerily similar to last year's game between Oregon and UCLA. It's the Chili's Halftime Report continuing right after this.
Welcome to the Chili's Halftime Report, a halftime show like no other.
Okay, everyone freeze. This is Justin, and he's bored stiff. Let's change that. As you were.
Hello?
Hey, man. What you doing?
Watching a Kung Fu marathon?
Cool. Turn it up.
Now get the most minutes to use whenever. Introducing T-Mobile. Get more.
Yo, Murph, you gotta see this. Congratulations. You found a boat in the middle of the ocean.
It's a Porsche. This Halloween,
I think I saw something I couldn't possibly have seen.
a presence is awakening.
I said we get the hell out of here.
And another world
What are we gonna do?
is waiting. Ghost Ship.
I know all of this isn't real.
Rated R. Starts Friday, October 25th.
I can't believe this.
After everything we've taught you.
My own daughter. Getting her tongue pierced. Without shopping around for the best price.
Our customers know the importance of shopping around because at Progressive.com you can get our price for car insurance plus the rates of other big name companies.
Your brother got a good deal on his body piercing.
You could save hundreds. Call Progressive today.
We welcome you back to the Chili's Halftime Report. Georgia trying to go 6-0, scored the first 18 points of the game against Tennessee. Then the Vols came back and scored 13. Georgia trying to run out the clock late. 4th and 2. What are you going to do from Tennessee's 35? You're going to give it to Tony Milton. And Tony Milton is going to go 26 yards and seal the victory for the Dogs between the hedges. They are 6-0 for the first time since 1982. Penn State Nittany Lions and the Michigan Wolverines playing today. Both teams go into this game 4-1, and they go into 0-24. Second loss of the season for Penn State. Both of them have been in overtime as they celebrate in Ann Arbor. Pittsburgh and the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame. Tight game, 7-6 Notre Dame. Pitt down there deep in their own territory when Rod Rutherford fumbles and the Irish are on it. They would turn it into points as Ryan Grant would score from 3 yards out. And Notre Dame wins it 14-6. Ty Willingham is 6-0, first rookie coach to do that at Notre Dame since Ara Parseghian in 1964. Still to come, UCLA and Oregon in a Pac-10 shootout. Looked a lot like last year. We'll be back.
Why do men climb mountains? Because they can. And an Arctic Cat can climb mountains like no other ATV. Now you can own an Arctic Cat ATV for no money down, no payments, no interest for 6 months. And we'll add a $399 winch for only $69. Arctic Cat. More to go on.
Dad, are we there yet? Dad, are we there yet? Dad,
If you two don't climb up, Dad's gonna lose it. Big time. We'll get to the internet when we get to the internet.
Internet connection driving you crazy? Move to Earthlink. You'll get online quicker and stay on with fewer drop-offs, pop-ups, and spam.
No, you're not. No, you're not.
Why wait? Move to Earthlink and get your first 1,000 hours free. Call 1-800-EARTHLINK.
In all the world, only one university can call itself the birthplace of the computer. Today, it's home to the nation's first 6-sided virtual reality theater. It's second in technology innovations, has one of the most wired campuses, as well as one of the 3 most beautiful. Iowa State University, a source of achievement, innovation, and inspiration, helping people become their best.
Celebrities. They've battled their personal demons and disease while the world was watching.
I was diagnosed with testicular cancer.
Now in a Discovery Health Channel original news series, celebrities share intimate details about their health and their life and death struggles.
Losing your mind is a terrible thing.
Find out just how human these stars really are in a new weekly series, Medical Profile. Continues Monday at 9. Public lives, private pain, personal triumph. Only on Discovery Health Channel.
DirecTV, the guide. Call now on pages $2.99 per month. 1-800-DirecTV.
Welcome back to the Chili's halftime report. Oregon and UCLA. Bruins leading 30-24 in the fourth. Oregon's Jason Fife going to find Keenan Howery, and this is going to turn into a 74-yard scoring play and a 31-30 lead for the Ducks. Now, last year when these teams played, UCLA's Chris Griffith missed a field goal from 50 yards out, and they lost by a point, 21-20. Today, he's no good from 46, and they lose 31-30. Oregon stays unbeaten, 6-0. 2-0 in the Pac-10 as we take a look at the scoreboard. Washington State 36-11 winners over Stanford. Jason Gesser 297 yards and 3 touchdowns. Look at Cal. You're going to see him next week on TBS taking on UCLA. They are beating USC at the break 21-17. Washington a winner over Arizona 32-28. Reggie Williams caught 8 balls for 184 and 3 touchdowns. And later, Oregon State takes on Arizona State. And that is it for the Chili's halftime report.
Thanks for watching the Chili's halftime report. The halftime show like no other.
Without a Yamaha ATV, you're not going very far. The Grizzly 660 Automatic from Yamaha. The only ATV with push-button front diff lock and 4-wheel independent suspension. The Grizzly 660 Automatic. Where you go now is up to you. Now get a Warren winch with select models plus 0% financing on every Yamaha ATV.
Michael, you stay and we go to Venice, hmm?
I can't. I have a dog.
Stop. Is he kidding? You know, I think his friend Steve back in the U.S. could help him out here. Go!
Hello? Steve. Yeah? It's about Max. Can you watch him an extra week?
Introducing World Class from T-Mobile. Now use your phone worldwide. Get more.
Buffaloes love smoked sooner. Rivalries. Ain't college football great? Play NCAA Football 2003. EA Sports. It's in the game. Rated E for everyone.
Honey, you remember when we bought this house, you said we'd remodel the kitchen?
Vaguely.
See, the problem is I just don't have the time.
We can take care of the installation for you.
Can?
Countertops and cabinets. What about tile floor?
Well, sure. Floors, garage doors, even a roof if you like.
Guaranteed?
Absolutely.
I could have done this. I could have.
Next week on Big Play Saturday, UCLA taking on the Golden Bears of Cal, followed by the Movie Bowl with Rudy. Hey, speaking of the Movie Bowl, let's hear from the hosts, Matt Arden and Cherie Christian.
Thanks, Ernie. Like you said, I'm Matt Arden.
And I'm Cherie Christian.
Appreciate it. And tonight, after the game, we've got the Movie Bowl live. Thanks, man. The Movie Bowl live, and we've got a really good movie tonight. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. Oh, cool. Definitely, you're in. Cool. Thanks. We've got Steven Seagal's Introduction to American Cinema, and that's above the law. It's going to be awesome.
Okay, Moneybags, what's with the cash?
Oh, well, the bar went dry, so I'm going to run out and buy some drinks, and I'm just going to collect cash and put the rest on my Discover card.
What a sweet, generous thing to do.
What?
So, what's the gimmick?
Well, I even noticed you're skeptical. I'm a nice guy. And I get cash back bonus awards every time I make a purchase with my Discover card.
Oh, yeah, Discover's the card that gives you cash back for things you were going to buy anyway.
Exactly. It pays to Discover.
And what are you going to do when everyone discovers your racket?
That's a good point. Okay. Drinks are on me. How about that? It doesn't matter because I'm still going to earn cash back bonus awards with my Discover card.
Movie Bowl will roll above the law right after the game, and we'll see you then. I got you.
I am a soldier. An army of one. Even though I'm a part of the strongest army in the world, I am my own force. And when it comes to me and my team, every link in the chain is strong. I am Sergeant First Class Brian Berkeybow. And you can see my strength.
Peace off.
Hey.
It's gonna be like 20. Guys, 6 nights in a row? Isn't Hell Week over? Let's go to Subway. Anything that's not round and greasy.
How about a hot, mouth-watering Dijon horseradish melt or sweet onion chicken teriyaki?
Good luck, man. Thank you.
When you're trying to quit smoking, cravings for cigarettes can appear out of nowhere. Nicorette Stop Smoking Gum, used regularly, will help fight them off. If you encounter a really tough craving, you can take an extra piece of Nicorette. With Nicorette, you can keep cravings at a safe distance. Nicorette helps you quit, one craving at a time.
Kirk, you can take the helmet off. Whenever you're ready.
Mind if I stand? Yo.
I'll get it.
You guys getting this or what?
Send in your 1-minute audition tape to the Discover card. Gets you on Game Day Challenge. If you win, you'll appear on College Game Day and go to the BCS National Championship. Visit your local Best Buy for details.
Come on, on, Dad. How much longer?
I'm almost done.
What are you doing in there?
Daddy's doing his business, honey.
You're not the only one who needs to use it.
Honey?
You can't rush these things.
Could your house use another computer? Then call 1-800-GATEWAY. We have desktops starting at $6.99. Great deals on notebooks and all the cool stuff you need to get the most from your new PC. Call now and we'll custom build the perfect system for you. Gateway, a better way.
I'm out of paper.
A planet that only knows fear needs a hero that has none. Star Fox Adventures, only for Nintendo GameCube. Rated T.
We were expecting offensive fireworks in Ames, Iowa, but it's the defense that has taken center stage. Tied at 3, Texas Tech and number 11, Iowa State. Both defense, including Lawrence Plugins of Texas Tech, have done a great job, Charles.
Defensive coordinators for both sides have to be ecstatic. Not what they expected, but they're getting great production from their fellas.
Second half, straight ahead.
Introducing 3 grilled favorites on one sizzling skillet. Chili's new fajita trio. Marinated chicken fajitas, spicy shrimp, and barbecued ribs.
Chili.
This ordinary-looking bed is the key to a restful night's sleep. Even though it may look like an ordinary mattress, it's more comfortable than you can ever imagine. Introducing the Nautilus Sleep System. Nautilus uses variable support chambers designed to let you control the comfort on your side of the bed. Individual remote controls allow you to increase or decrease the firmness on your side of the bed, so you can have that feather soft feel and your spouse can get the extra firm support he or she has always wanted. Features like a wool blend pillow top for winter, a silk blend pillow top for summer, and our unique comfort layer make Nautilus the choice for a great night's sleep. It's time you feel the instant comfort of Nautilus with no money down and payments as low as $30 a month. Try Nautilus in your home. We guarantee the best sleep you've had in years. If you're not completely satisfied within 12 weeks, return it for a full refund of the purchase price. Call now for your free video and brochure and discover instant comfort with the Nautilus Sleep System.
Welcome back to Big Play Saturday. Presented by T-Mobile and Best Buy. And as we get started for quarter number 3, we are tied at 3. Number 11, Iowa State against Texas Tech. This is the lowest first half production as far as points are concerned for our Texas Tech since the Texas A&M game last year. Now, at the beginning of the game, we talked about missed opportunities. Neither coach wanted to miss an opportunity offensively. They both had the win each one quarter in that opening half. They didn't take advantage of what's it going to take to get these offenses on track.
Well, for Texas Tech, what it's going to take is getting the ball downfield a little bit more. They like to throw underneath, but John Skladany, the defensive coordinator for Iowa State, he's dropping a lot of guys into coverage and using tight coverage on the wide receivers right now with his cornerbacks. I think they have to push them down a little bit in order to open up those throwing lanes underneath again for Kliff Kingsbury. For Iowa State, they have been running the ball effectively. The surprise is that Texas Tech actually has more yards running the ball in the first half, but since they've used the run effectively, now they have to go back and throw the football on first and second down on downs they don't expect them to do that to give Seneca Wallace an opportunity.
Well, you saw some of the numbers there. The total yards, only 337 yards between them, and we are underway here in the second half. Well, Jack Whitver comes up with the short kick, and that's where Iowa State will take over. 1st and 10 from their own 32-yard line. Now let's take a look at the quarterback comparison. Both had hopes of Heisman coming into the game. You can see what they had for the season tonight. Both well below their numbers.
Don't expect that to continue really for both of them. Kliff Kingsbury has had more opportunities to throw the ball downfield. I believe Seneca Wallace only threw the ball 8 or 9 times in the first half. And we heard Dan McCarney tell Craig Sager, we have to throw the ball more in the second half. Let's see if they start on this series.
Seneca considers himself a pocket passer before a runner. Now he rolls out of the pocket. Has some running room. Up to the 35 and runs out of bounds. Here's Craig Sager.
Well, I heard from Dan McCarney talking to Mike Leach as he came out of the locker room. He said, we need to execute. The defenses are playing great, but we've squandered a couple of opportunities with the interception, then a couple of penalties. He said, this is a defensive game. It reminds me in baseball of a pitching duel, and this ain't my style.
You got that right.
Yeah, didn't Mike Leach tell us yesterday that he equates offense to hitting in baseball? That it's not as consistent, and defense to pitching, which is a lot steadier. He wants to have a little more of that hitting going on.
I look for him to pull out the bag of tricks here in the second half for the Texas Tech Red Raiders. They blitz. Iowa State picks it up. Wallace into the flat. Off the hand. Should have been caught.
Intended for number 83, Jamal Montgomery.
Montgomery had it right in the hands. Couldn't get it.
You mentioned Seneca Wallace thinks of himself as a pocket passer and responds that way. That's as pretty as it gets in the pocket. Beautiful setup, nice delivery. And Jamal Montgomery definitely should have caught the last pass.
Well, they want to tab him Mr. October, but the next 3 weeks on his schedule will prove if he is Mr. October. And right now, tonight, not getting it done. Now they see the blitz. Nice touch pass. Complete to Wagner. Penalty flag is thrown as he gets up to the 35-yard line, which will be a loss of a yard. Jason Wesley there, along with Erin Hunt, coming up from that defensive end spot.
What great pursuit by Texas Tech. Another illegal block. This time it'll be a wide receiver trying to block the corner. I think Joselio Hansen, number 12 for Texas Tech, got underneath the pattern and was ridden out. And that's where the block came in and was called.
Illegal block in the back on the offense. Penalty is declined. Brings up 4th down.
Well, and again, Iowa State going with the win will have to kick it away. Look at the left side of the screen.
Right there.
And Montgomery.
Give him a little two-hander in the back.
Yeah.
It wasn't very violent. It was enough to draw the officials' attention.
And Yelk will kick it away, standing on his own 22-yard line. Welker back at the 15. Kicking with the wind. Low snap, low kick. Welker at the 10. Welker at the 20. Welker at the 30, up to the 35-yard line. He is exciting. 88-yard return for a touchdown last week versus A&M. And Texas Tech will take over. Let's see how they open it up after the 54-yard kick. Dan McCarney telling his kicker, come on, you know who this guy is. Get it away from him. Texas Tech will take over on their own 35-yard line. Kliff Kingsbury, the senior out of New Braunfels, played for the New Braunfels Unicorns in high school. Just dumps the pass over to Nehemiah Glover. Gets close to the 50-yard line, runs out at the 48-yard line. Jeremy Lloyd, the senior out of Pittsburgh, Texas, chases him out of bounds. Nehemiah Glover out of Lamarck, Texas, just a sophomore, and Lamarck has put together some pretty good football players over the years. Picked up 15 on the play.
Glover, the hero in the Texas A&M win last week, scoring the winning touchdown overtime. A wide receiver screen. 3 wide receivers again, all bunched together. Use a little motion now.
Francis in motion from the shotgun. Complete. Page lost the ball. Iowa State has it. Jeremy Lloyd. Page had it and coughed it up, and Lloyd was Johnny on the spot.
As I saw the play develop, I thought Iowa State's linebackers had dropped just a little bit too deep. They need to take away the crossing routes. But what a play by Lloyd. Makes the tackle. The strip in the air to himself. And a big turnover, the second one of the game against Texas Tech.
Well, this is the opportunities, I think, that Dan McCarney wanted to take advantage of. Mike Leach saying that we've got to get over when we make mistakes. We've got to shake them off quickly and go on. Let's see if they can. Wallace looking in the flat, throws across his body, has a man, incomplete, down at the 30-yard line. Seneca Wallace, definitely a Heisman Trophy candidate. Erin Andrews is with his dad.
That's right, Ron. I'm here right now with O.T. Wallace, Seneca Wallace's father. He made the trip, got here on Friday from Sacramento, California. It's been a whirlwind ever since Seneca came to Iowa State. Did you expect all this would happen?
Well, no more than he said it would, and I believed him because he said it. But I really didn't think it would be this big. I never thought it would be this big.
But I understand he's been telling you since he was in Pop Warner that, Dad, this is going to happen.
Oh, yes. He told me when he was in Pop Warner that this was going to happen. And then he also told me that he was going to win the Heisman Trophy. And, you know, that was hard for me to believe because I didn't even know what the Heisman Trophy was at that time.
Now, I got to bust your chops a little bit. You're wearing purple. Shouldn't you be wearing red tonight?
Well, I should have been. But, you know, my son, when I come in his colors, he'll say, oh, Dad, I thought you were going to wear a suit. Then if I wear a suit, he'll say, oh, Dad, why didn't you wear something else? He likes to tell his friends about how well I dress. You know, I dress like this all the time, basically. And he liked to be able to tell his friend, man, I told you my dad dressed nice. I told you how my dad dressed. So I dress like that a lot of time because he liked to brag about it.
Mr. Wallace, thanks so much. Guys, back up to you.
All right, Seneca Wallace, of course, almost gave up football a few years ago when his mom came down with cancer, and his mom basically talked him into playing football. Gets great support from both dad and mom.
Yeah, and the suit Mr. Wallace is wearing, our friend Charles Barkley might be applying for one of those.
Barkley,
you know?
Sager.
Charles, you know, Sags, you know, I'm sure they're both going to be sizing him up, asking where he gets his clothes
That's right.
from.
Sags has got that one numbered. Third down. We'll call it about 15. Wallace straight back, throws out of the flat with a little velocity. It is complete to Danielson. Gets the first down inside the 30, down to the 28-yard line. Lane Danielson, the junior.
Beautiful route run by Lane Danielson. Watch him after he makes the catch against Ryan Aycock. It became a 28-yard gain. You see where Ryan Aycock overran the play. Didn't have the proper angle from inside out. That allowed yet extra yards after the catch for Lane Danielson in Iowa State.
And you see what he did? He quickly switched hands with the football, put it in the left hand.
Very smart player.
Keeping it on the ground. Wagner trying to make something out of nothing. Adel Duckett on the stop. Well, the drama of the NBA returns to TNT this fall with exclusive doubleheader action. It all begins Thursday, October 31st. TNT NBA Thursday, only on TNT. And can the Lakers do it without Shaq? What about Mike Bibby now being hurt with a stress fracture at Sacramento? Opens up the West. 2nd and 10. Wallace sees the blitz. They pick it up into the flat, complete down to the 20. Inside the 20. Lance Young. No, he stepped out of bounds at the 12.
Wallace's pass complete to Lance Young.
Lance Young, the junior out of St. Louis, Missouri, tried to tiptoe down the sideline. They're going to mark it at the 11.
Beautifully thrown ball. And this where Lance Young capitalized on the defensive back trying to go for the strip instead of the tackle.
There it is.
He didn't secure the ball carrier first. Raymond Pierce came over to knock him out of bounds. But you've got to secure the guy before you go for the ball. Otherwise, you often give up bigger plays.
Well, we've got some whistles. 1st and 10. They're calling it at the 11, so they can get a first down. Dan McCarney wanted to get something going offensively. They started to click, got the opportunity after the fumble recovery. Trying to take advantage of it. Wagner, left side. Actually, they have lost a yard on the play. Trying to run behind Shelton and Montgomery, the big left guard. It's interesting that Iowa State's sticking to their game plan, Charles.
But what we have seen in the second half is what Dan McCarney told Craig going to the half. We're going to have to loosen them up a little bit. We've got to throw the ball a little bit more because we have guys who can do it. So they've taken their shots on first down. You know, normally that's been a rundown for them in this game. That's helped them in their cause going downfield.
On 2nd and 10. Wallace looking for the second option. Still looking. Still looking. Back to the 30. Scrambling. Tight ropes down inside the 10. Look out. Looking for a block. Gets it. Wallace. Touchdown. Incredible play. Seneca Wallace needs to buy Michael Wagner's supper after that block. Talk about lowering the boom, and he's getting the kudos. They just showed it on the big screen, and Wagner, he goes, that's right. The extra point. Good snap, good hold, good kick.
And what you think about here is don't clip, don't have any plays like that. And Michael Wagner with a huge block on Ricky Saylor, number 21. Iowa State now leads by 7.
You look great.
Thank you.
Oh, you know what? It's your birthday. It's all taken care of.
All right. Here you go. Enjoy.
30 shrimp for your 30th birthday.
I'm 29.
Mix and match 30 irresistible shrimp for $9.99 at Red Lobster. What more could you wish for?
Honey, are these clean?
Yeah, I just did them.
Time for a new appliance? It's the Home Depot Appliance Event. This weekend only, get no payments and no interest on appliance purchases till January 2004 with your Home Depot Consumer Credit Card. Plus, get free delivery on appliances of $3.99 or more. The Appliance Event, going on now at the Home Depot and Expo Design Center.
A planet that only knows fear needs a hero that has none. Star Fox Adventures, only for Nintendo GameCube. Rated T for teen.
This increases momentum. Watch this block by Michael Wagner, number 4.
And it really was his second block because he made one on the initial. He made an initial block to start the play. Jamal Montgomery, number 83, was the primary receiver. He had fallen down. So Seneca Wallace improvised. He got by with a little help from his friends.
Well, Saylor, they're looking, making sure that he's not hearing any bells.
Yeah, they better make sure all his molars are intact right now.
Serious denture check. McCann standing in the end zone. 8 yards deep. He's bringing it out. Looking for the wall. Up to the 20-yard line, to the 21-yard line. Now, we told you at the beginning of the game, he does not like taking a knee, and he didn't. Well, fans, do you have a question for Charles? Simply send an email, and we'll select one. Question to answer later in the game. Send your question to tbsbigplay@aol.com. And don't forget to include your name and where you are from. So now Texas Tech trailing by a touchdown early on here in quarter number 3. Takes over.
Iowa State rushes some extra defensive backs in on first down to start this series. They had been going with their base 4-3 defense.
Kingsbury. Pass complete up to the 29-yard line to Wes Welker. Now, in case you're wondering, this little short passing game by Mike Leach, this is something that he did, as we mentioned earlier, at Oklahoma. They only have 10 plays plus 30 yards this year. Their longest play from scrimmage, outside of a punt return, 53 yards. This is his offense.
He did the same thing at Kentucky with Tim Couch. So it obviously works for them. If you're Iowa State, you got to figure out a way to take away the short receivers.
Kingsbury gets away with one, complete to Nehemiah Glover, and he steps out of bounds at the 40-yard line. Kliff threw that in traffic, and there were an awful lot of red jerseys around the pigskin.
I thought that the ball would be knocked down. I thought I saw number 92, Jordan Karstens, in the middle of that, getting a big paw up. Watch as he throws to his left on the pass. Right there, ball just got past Karsten's big paw. Nice catch by Glover.
Once again, Iowa State changing defenses up. You see the numbers for the Tech receivers tonight. They bring 4. Kingsbury, plenty of time. Tucks in and slides as he crosses the 45 up to the 46-yard line. Brandon Brown, the sophomore out of Houston, had the beat on him. Well, John Scaldani wanted to show Mike Leach's offense a basic look, and then they make the moves trying to confuse Kliff Kingsbury, but so far Kingsbury's picked them all up.
Trying to show the same look from the secondary on each pre-snap and then move to their coverages. As you see John Scaldani signaling in his call.
Up to the 45-yard line, Jermaine Phillips stopping Henderson. That'll be another first down. So now Texas Tech's offense starting to get in gear. They're going against the wind.
Hard part against this offense is like trying to plug the dike all the time, plug the dam. You put a thumb one place, something else springs open for him.
3 wide receivers to the right. Iowa State shows blitz. Tech keeps it on the ground. Henderson may have picked up 1.
And that was an audible by Kliff Kingsbury.
Well, just a reminder, our next telecast will be coming your way Saturday night at 7 o'clock Eastern time on TBS as the UCLA Bruins take on the Cal Bears. Of course, Cal was beating Southern Cal at halftime. UCLA doing a pretty good job with Oregon. We'll have that next Saturday at 7 o'clock, and then Rudy follows it up. Kingsbury checking off at the line.
And he's showing a lot of ability to check to runs more this year than actually checking other passes.
And he burns a timeout. .9:15 to play in quarter number 3. Iowa State has taken the advantage by a touchdown, and we will be back.
Kirk, you can take the helmet off. Whenever you're ready.
Mind if I stand? Yo. I'll get it. You guys getting this or what?
Send in your 1-minute audition tape to the Discover card. Gets you on Game Day Challenge. If you win, you'll appear on College Game Day and go to the BCS National Championship. Visit your local Best Buy for details.
Reviewing our last fiscal year, the numbers from January were slightly better than the numbers from February. However, the numbers in January were identical to the numbers in March. The numbers in April were slightly lower than the numbers in March, but identical.
Like playing games? Come to Best Buy, where you can play the latest video games and try out a lot of other cool stuff. Best Buy. Go ahead, turn on the fun. There are over 200 ways to become an army of one. Log on to GoArmy.com.
Number 11, Iowa State, leading by 7 with 9:15 in the third. Our first and 10 line is brought to you by Home Depot. And right now, Texas Tech needs 9 yards to get to that Home Depot first and 10 line. Second down and 9 from the 45-yard line.
And that pointing going on up front. Dylan Gandy calling that the offensive front.
Throws underneath the blitz. Pass is complete. Trey Haverty, the sophomore out of Richardson, Texas. He gets close to the first down, up to about the 37-yard line.
Watch him come all the way down underneath the linebackers. The Texas Tech receivers do a great job reading the drops of the defenders and running their patterns accordingly.
Well, Haverty's had to pick up the load because Mickey Peters, who had the concussion last week against A&M, he did warm up, but is yet to play in this game. Third down and less than a yard. Kingsbury keeps it and will get the first down. One thing about this Texas Tech offense, you can't give them any confidence because Mike Leach, he gets into that rhythm of play calling just as much as the quarterback gets in the rhythm of throwing. That's when they're dangerous.
And the interesting thing about them is that they really never lose confidence.
Right.
We've seen them down big a few times this year, and they always storm back. They're undaunted by unsuccessful plays. They just figure they'll get it on the next down.
On 1st and 10, Kingsbury quickly to the left to Welker. Welker crosses the 30 down to the 27-yard line. Mark Timmons coming up to make the stop. Welker, probably the greatest overachiever on this Texas Tech team.
See Wes Welker just running just a little out pass, out pattern there to the sideline, cutting back inside. Called him an overachiever. His coach loves him.
Well, we want to thank Allstate for providing tonight's goalpost cam. You're in good hands with Allstate. Kingsbury looks out of the flat, throws it over the defense. Pass is complete. Inside the 20 is Henderson again. And Matt Word has to try to corral him. Henderson came in with 32 receptions on the year. Second on the team. He not only runs the ball, this guy's got some pretty good hands.
And you have to have that to play that position in this offense, because you are going to run the ball, but you're going to be more of a pass receiver than anything.
We saw Quentin Griffin be the recipient of it when he was in Oklahoma, when Mike Leach was in Oklahoma. 1st and 10 from the 17. Out of the flat again, down to the 15-yard line. It is Wes Welker. Here's EJ at the big game house.
All right, thank you, Ron. Last week when Florida was beaten by Ole Miss, Rex Grossman threw 4 interceptions. He's thrown 2 in the first half tonight. This one to LSU's Corey Webster, who takes it back 45 yards. LSU has got the lead 13-7 at the break over Florida. Oh, and by the way, Charles, Georgia 18, Tennessee 13.
Spoken as a true bulldog, right?
See, he's not right.
No.
Okay? That's just not right, EJ.
You get the last word, partner. 2nd down and 6. Kingsbury looking again inside the 10, down to the 6-yard line. Ball is down. Pass was complete. That's called the ground, causing the fumble. Preston Hartfield, the senior out of Alvord, Texas, his first reception of the night.
It's tough now for Texas Tech, if you want to call it tough, because running their pattern so shallow and underneath the coverage, is they don't have as much room to operate now, because they're getting close to the goal line in the end zone. That should tighten things down for Iowa State's defense. Now they should be able to sit on those shorter routes a lot easier.
7 for 7 on this drive for Kingsbury. 1st and goal from the 6 for the Red Raiders. Kingsbury flushed out of the pocket. Takes a dive as he gets to the 5. Brandon Brown with the stop.
Kingsbury on the keeper for Texas Tech.
You know, watching Kliff Kingsbury over the years, Charles, the one thing I've seen this young man, he has taken some vicious shots. Has again this year. He just keeps getting up.
It's that type of an offense, because oftentimes you empty out the backfield, no one extra back there to block for you. They count on you to see the blitz and get rid of the ball, but absorb the hit anyway. It's a tough young man.
13th play of this drive. 2nd and goal from the 5. Kingsbury going up top for Page. Knocked away. Harold Lewis, the junior out of Missouri City, Texas, swatted that away. His 3rd pass broken up of the year.
You want this to be a jump ball because Anton Page is 6'4", but the ball wasn't up very high. It was at a level that Harold Lewis at 5'8" could go for the football, and I saw Page at the end of the play look back at his quarterback. Great job by Lewis, number 16, and point up in the air as if to say, throw it higher.
Now it's 3rd and goal from the 5. You can see what Kingsbury's done on 3rd down tonight. Down to the 1-yard line, it's Welker. He was close, but he came back over the goal line to make the reception. That brings up 4th and goal. Mike Leach is going for it.
Yes, I'd be surprised if they didn't. And here's a play where Welker just runs a short out, but the strong safety, Jermaine Billups, number 6, is too far away from him. He has to go up and hug up on the receiver there. Use the end zone as an extra defender. Make him throw it over your head.
1 of 2 tonight on 4th down. Kingsbury over the top. They stack him up. No call. Now it is touchdown. The far official did not signal it. The linesman did. Well, they got the helmet, but Kingsbury's got the 6. Dan McCarney wants to make sure this is clarified to him, but it was a touchdown. Now we've got the officials pushing players away. Iowa State and Texas Tech, neither one can afford to lose their cool. Latif Austin pleading his case, but it's a touchdown for Kingsbury.
Definitely don't want a personal foul through Texas Tech. We have to kick this extra point 15 yards deeper because the wind has been a factor kicking in this direction all night.
15 plays, 79 yards. The extra point. And we are tied. Let's take a look at this again. It was close. The ball gets over. Good call by the officials.
The climb to the top is never easy. To make it, you need the biggest ATV Honda has ever built. 650 cc's. Fully independent rear suspension. Sport-tuned automatic. The Rincon from Honda. To get here, you've got to be the best on earth.
You have the ultimate power to look better, to be stronger, to redefine your body and yourself. Introducing the Bowflex Ultimate. Quite possibly the best home fitness machine ever made. In as little as 20 minutes a day, 3 times a week, you can get real results that can change your entire body. With over 90 health club quality exercises and up to 410 pounds of resistance, it's like having an entire gym in your home. Bowflex is so effective that we guarantee you'll get the results you want in 6 weeks or less. Own the new Bowflex Ultimate with no money down and monthly payments lower than many health club dues. Call and ask for a free video and brochure, and check out the entire Bowflex lineup, or visit us on the web at bowflexultimate.com today. The new Bowflex for ultimate results.
The largest non-Nebraska crowd in 20 years. 51,000 are stunned because Iowa State, the number 11 team in the country, now tied up with Texas Tech, courtesy of Kliff Kingsbury, who had an interesting summer. Had to spend some time with a couple of great quarterbacks in their own right. How about James Street, former UT quarterback, the great Sammy Baugh, Mark Ferris, who's now unfortunately riding the bench at A&M.
Notice they're all throwing at the tire.
That's right.
The time-honored tradition of throwing the ball through the tire. No one did it better than slinging Sammy Baugh.
Lance Young looking for some running room as he gets up to the 20 to the 21-yard line. Now Iowa State will take over. Let's see if Seneca Wallace starts to open it up a little bit more. Very impressive 5:09 drive. Took him 15 plays to go to 79 yards. Heads up play, though, by Kingsbury. Tip of the hat to that young man for sticking that ball out the way he did.
Found the gap, and he knows this how heady he is. If the ball just gets across the line, doesn't matter if it's knocked out of his hands. As soon as he gets across the line, it's a touchdown. Very intelligent play.
Closing in on 6 minutes to play here in the third quarter. Look in reverse. Here it is. Danielson wide open, the 30 to the 40, 50, 40. He could go all the way. Goodbye. Touchdown. Defense is a gambling one. They have been susceptible to big plays in the past, and they are tonight. Extra point. And quickly, Iowa State regains the lead as we take a look at it again. Lane Danielson, 7 rushes for 16 yards coming into tonight.
And watch the block coming up here on the corner, because this is where the wide receiver helps out. Jack Whitver, number 26. Excellent job, and then some great running by Lane Danielson. And notice the offensive lineman getting downfield to assist. This was a play where Iowa State utilized Texas Tech's aggression and pursuit against them, because they've been running to the ball so well tonight that when everyone crashed on the flow going one way, when the ball went back the other, it became really Lane Danielson having to get to the corner and beat that man, and then made some nifty moves downfield.
You know, part of Texas Tech's problem defensively this year so far has been that a lot of the players on the team have tried to do more than just their responsibilities. And Greg McMackin, the defensive coordinator, trying to get guys to stay at home. Just do your job. Don't try to do too much, because when they do, they get burned.
Talking about assignment football. In that defense, you would think the defensive end would have to be the guy trailing the play and making sure the ball doesn't come back across his face. Instead, he dove and went down the line trying to pursue. Ball went back. Touchdown, Iowa State.
McCann lost the handle. 9 yards deep. This could be dangerous. And it is. He's dropped at the 8-yard line. Nick Mosier, the redshirt freshman out of Fort Dodge, Iowa, with his stop. TBS Big Play Saturday, brought to you by Discover Card. It pays to discover. And by NCAA Football 2003 from EA Sports. It's in the game. Now, how can Texas Tech respond? All right, we go 3-3 in 30 minutes. Boom, boom. 21 points in about 10 here in quarter number 3. This is what we expected. Kingsbury complete to the 14-yard line, reaching over Preston Hartfield. His 2nd reception tonight, 8th of the year. Check that 3rd reception tonight. Anytime you're Texas Tech, you get down by 7, that's nothing. 14, no big deal.
Never really been a problem. 35-17 in the 4th quarter last week at Texas A&M against the famed Wrecking Crew, and they came back and won.
Kliff had 6 come from behind victories his senior year in high school.
Iowa State showing blitz in the gaps.
Swings it out to the right side. Again, Haverty, you can hear the pads popping all the way up here as he crosses the 20 up to the 22. Here's Erin Andrews.
All right, Ron, right now I'm joined by Tim Kingsbury, Kliff's father, and of course, his father was his high school coach. Now, how hard was that, being his coach in high school, especially when colleges were looking to recruit him?
Well, you know, it was kind of hard, but it was a lot harder on him than it was on me. I can tell you that.
Yeah, we definitely heard that.
Yeah, yeah, but he handled it real well. I was real proud of him.
Now, he teases you because you never really let him open up the offense. Now, looking at him, do you wish you had?
Well, see, I thought I was opening up the offense. I didn't realize all these years that we hadn't opened up the offense. But if we could have opened up more than what we did, we would have.
Mr. Kingsbury, I have to ask you a personal question. Are you at all worried that your son's idol is Britney Spears?
No, I don't think Kliff has a chance. I don't think she even knows who he is, to be honest with you. I think he had somebody else sign that autograph on it.
Well, he may if he wins the Heisman. Thank you so much. Guys, back to you.
All right, 4:26 to play in the 3rd. On 2nd and 5, Kingsbury. Long pass, complete to Page. All the way up to the 38-yard line. Harold Cluess was on the coverage. Well, it didn't have a whole lot of mustard on it, but it got there.
While I watched it in the air, I thought that Iowa State's defender, Cluess, would have a chance to close on the football. But the move was so good by the wide receiver. And look at Kingsbury heating up in the 2nd half.
My goodness.
13 of 14. Can't get much better than that, can it?
Nope. 83% completion last week against A&M. New NCAA record. Little shovel pass, and Iowa State doesn't buy it. Jordan Karstens was right there. The junior out of Bagley, Iowa. And they lost 3 on the play.
Beautiful design call by Mike Leach. Earlier in the game, I thought that this was a delayed option, But what it is Kliff Kingsbury faking the ball downfield and throwing the shovel pass underneath. That's a call by Mike Leach. This time Jordan Karstens is on the spot for Iowa State.
Second and third, 13, three-man rush. Kingsbury gets away, takes the shot, loses the football. Iowa State has it. Anthony Forrest with the recovery. Here's a shot.
Matt Word, number 7, the linebacker, knocks it free. Anthony Forrest with the recovery. We see why John Skladany has wanted to drop a number of guys into coverage, because if you get Kliff Kingsbury running the ball, they'd love to come up and take the shot on him, thinking that will take its toll, and it did this time, causes a fumble.
Now they forced 5 turnovers against Nebraska. They're 3-8. Springs it out into the left flat. Pass is complete. Jack Whitver. Now this week's installment of Home Depot Building a Team features a breakdown of Iowa State's starting defense. And here's where they come from. You got a mixture of California, Texas, Florida, a couple of Iowa, even a Nebraskan in there.
It's a state that they love to recruit. They love their home state of Iowa, but they are aware that they need to go elsewhere to get some players too, and they don't mind going after them.
Straight ahead running it is Wagner inside the 20-yard line. Excellent play calling by that Iowa State offense. Steve Bricker doing a good job upstairs.
Well, they established the run early in the ball game, and that just opened up a variety of possibilities for him the rest of the game. It's really helped expand his playbook. When you're one-dimensional, it closes things down, but when you can run it and throw it equally well, you're tough to stop.
See the numbers on Wagner tonight. How about total yards for Iowa State? Already surpassed their first half mark. Wagner bounces off a couple of tackles. Michael Wagner moving down to the 16-yard line.
Notice the last 2 plays, they brought a wide receiver in motion and faked the handoff to him after handing the ball inside. That's to make sure that Texas Tech continues to stay at home. Because after the reverse, that's what Greg McMackin has been preaching to his defense. Staying at home, keeping your responsibilities. So what Dan McCarney and Steve Bricky have said, we're going to make sure you stay honest.
That's right.
If we see you not doing it, we'll run the reverse again.
Second down and 6 inside of 2 minutes here in the third. Wallace, pass complete inside the 10. Penalty flag, it'll be a face mask.
And that could be the big one, too, because of the way that he was snapping around.
Lance Young on the reception. Greg McMackin, of course, was a defensive coordinator at Miami.
Easy throw for Seneca Wallace, 3-step drop.
Foul, face mask on the defense, half the distance to the goal line, first down.
Yeah, they got him for the big one.
Yeah.
Saylor, number 21, Ricky Saylor, because he had the mask the whole time while he was trying to finish the tackle. If he got his hand off the mask, it would have been the 5-yard variety or the shorter one. Instead, it's half the distance to the goal. Iowa State, first and goal.
Well, they complain cobwebs after that block by Wagner. Wagner, left side, touchdown, Cyclones. At the start of the game, we talked about how Mike Leach would have to defend that left side of the offensive line of Iowa State. Haven't been able to do it, at least on this series.
You see, and the left side was where he went. Yeah, give credit to the guys up front. Number 171, Casey Shelton, the left tackle. Bob Montgomery, the left guard, number 65, and Zach Butler, the center.
And the kick is good. Well, the homecoming crowd of 51,000 plus have had something to cheer about in the second half, and everybody woke up after that 3-3 halftime tie. As the Cyclones have put 21 on the board here in the third quarter. That'll wake you up.
And what they've also done is gotten it off of a match situation. 3-0 Iowa State. Texas Tech matched at 3-3. And Iowa State goes up 10-3 on the great run by Wallace and the great block by Wagner. They come right downfield. Texas Tech does, matches them 10-10. They score again, and then they get the turnover.
Yep.
And let's put them 2 scores ahead.
Once again, going back to what we talked about at the top of the show, taking advantage of opportunities. And they've done that in the second half so far, at least if you're Iowa State. But here's what Texas Tech has done. Down by 28 in the third to North Carolina State. They went to OT. Down by 18 to A&M last week going into the fourth. They won in OT.
In the NC State game, they kicked the field goal to win it in regulation that was missed. Sent them to overtime.
This time the kick just goes out right at the pylon.
Kickoff out of bounds. The receivers possession on the 35-yard line. First down.
Good field position now for Kliff Kingsbury and company. Now let's take it back a week ago. Texas A&M's Dustin Long set an NCAA record 7 touchdown passes. But John Pierce misses an extra point in overtime. That allowed Kliff Kingsbury to hit Nehemiah Glover. He takes it in, ties the game. And Robert Trice will kick the extra point. And Texas Tech with a victory over A&M 48-47. A disheartening loss for the Aggies. Now Kingsbury goes back to work, throws it out on the flat. Pass is complete to Clay McGuire. Former high school quarterback Clay McGuire sort of plays that H-back spot, which is a combination of fullback slash tight end. Not exactly a finesse player, Clay.
No, he was a quarterback in high school, as you mentioned, but they thought they'd make him a wide receiver when he got to Texas Tech. He likes to be a little more physical, and they found the right spot for him playing the H-back.
Closing in on a minute left in the third. Kingsbury rifles the pass to Page, complete up to the 48-yard line. Ellis Hobbs the third on the cover. That'll be good for a first down. You know, you look at the story of the third quarter, and it's very simple. It's something that Dan McCarney and John Spalding have been pressing on his players since they took over. Turnovers equal points. 2 turnovers by Texas Tech this half. Iowa State's turned it into 14 points.
And last year, if I'm not mistaken, they were plus 32 in points off of turnovers. So this team believes in what these coaches have been preaching to them.
52 seconds left going against the wind. They're going to try it over the right side on the ground with McGuire. Gets up to the 50. We'll give him a yard on that play. They were like plus 45 going into tonight.
Yes, and we have a real strategy shift now for John Spalding. Earlier in the game, he was looking for all the crossing routes and trying to jump them a little bit with his linebackers and maybe chip them a little as they go by. Now, if they catch it, that's fine. Just make the tackle on the spot. Keep punishing them, hoping to cause more turnovers.
Final 22 seconds of the quarter, second down and 9. Kingsbury, receivers not coming back to the football, and he is going to be caught from behind at the 48-yard line. Jeremy Lloyd, the senior out of Pittsburgh, Texas.
Number 41, Jeremy Lloyd for the Cyclones.
And that's probably going to do it, and it will. So Texas Tech will have the win. The final 15 minutes. Dan McCarney challenged his troops at halftime, and they've come alive because of that. As we head to the final 15, number 11, Iowa State, has taken the advantage over Texas Tech by 2 touchdowns.
Could your house use another computer? Then call 1-800-GATEWAY or come to your local Gateway store. We have desktops starting at $6.99, notebooks starting at $9.99, and no payments until 2003. Call now for great deals. Gateway, a better way.
Look, Mom, he's cute.
Yoshi's back in Yoshi's Island, only for Game Boy Advance. Rated everyone.
Come on already. Why is it taking so long?
Pushing the button won't help.
Shh, it's coming.
This is so frustrating.
It's even worse than the elevator.
Tired of waiting on the internet? Move to Earthlink. You'll get online quicker and stay on with fewer drop-offs, pop-ups, and spam.
Okay, you want to sit here and try it?
No, I don't want to sit here and try it. I just want it to work.
Why wait? Move to Earthlink and get your first 1,000 hours free. Call 1-800-EARTHLINK.
You look great.
Thank you.
Oh, you know what? It's your birthday. It's all taken care of.
All right. Here you go. Enjoy.
30 shrimp for your 30th birthday.
I'm 29.
Mix and match 30 irresistible shrimp for $9.99 at Red Lobster. What more could you wish for?
Now let's take a look at our Gateway game summary. And after a 3-3 halftime score, we can see things have opened up. Kliff Kingsbury's thrown for over 200 yards. Seneca Wallace, 125 yards. He had a touchdown, also ran for a touchdown. And you can see Lane Danielson with that 79-yard touchdown run. Now Kliff Kingsbury, 2 straight weeks, the Big 12 Offensive Player of the Week. He has been in this position before. Can he pull out another miracle? 3rd down and 7. Dangerous pass knocked away. Incomplete, intended for Page. Ellis Hobbs the 3rd on the coverage. Just a reminder, Big Play Saturday keeps rolling after the game with Matt and Cherie in the Movie Bowl. They'll have more advice on how to squeak by after college, while Steven Seagal kicks some tail in Above the Law. That's after the game, the Movie Bowl, only on TBS Superstation.
Texas Tech's going to line up in punt formation here, and after the fake earlier, you have to believe Iowa State's in what they call punt safe, which means they're going to look for the fake and not worry about rushing too much.
Well, they could have blocked it. Greathouse gets off a boomer. That'll carry into the end zone.
With the touchback.
And Iowa State will take over 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line. Well, one of the things that we've been talking about is that Iowa State is no stranger to being in a position where they head to the 4th quarter trailing in this football game. What does this do mentally for them? Did they have the confidence on the sideline right now to say, guys, we've been here before, let's do it again?
Without a doubt. Last week against Texas A&M, that was the number 3 ranked team in the NCAA on total defense and only giving up less than 10 points per ball game. They got it done against them. They came back against an NC State team that's going to crack the top 10. They know how it feels to be down, and they rely on their conditioning and their poise to bring them back.
Now they better rely on their defense, keeping it on the ground with Wagner. Because really, it really goes in the hands of the defense now. You cannot allow Iowa State to do anything. You can see the score by quarters for Texas Tech. 101 points they have scored in the 4th quarter. That is remarkable.
And really, Texas Tech overall has played a fine game on defense. But you mentioned earlier in the game, big plays have been their downfall. The long reverse to Lane Danielson, the broken play run by Seneca Wallace. That's what's hurt them.
Look out for the reverse. Wallace fakes it, throws it into the flat. Pass is complete to Kyle Knox, the big tight end. The senior out of Cedar Rapids, Iowa, his 2nd reception. Now turnovers have plagued the Red Raiders today. First the interception. Then you get stripped.
Great play by Jeremy Lloyd, the linebacker. And then the big hit by Matt Word, number 7. Knocks it free for Anthony Forrest, their strong safety.
And Iowa State's taking advantage of that with 14 points off them. 3rd down and 2 for the Cyclones. Texas Tech strings it out. Nice open field hit, but stretching across to the 30. That would be good for a 1st down as Michael Wagner. Talk about yeoman's effort. Hansen had the first hit. Looked like Wagner was going to be stopped cold.
We pointed out throughout the game that Basilio Hansen, the starting corner, number 12, is a good tackler. This time he didn't wrap his arms. He tried to use the shoulder to knock him down. Michael Wagner kept his legs churning and burst forward for the 1st down.
Well, our instant poll result is Iowa State the biggest surprise team in the Big 12. 62% of you said yes. No disagreement here. Wagner this time. They grab a hold of the shoe tops. Lawrence Fulgence. Fulgence is the one who makes the stop. That'll set up Iowa State again. It'll be 2nd down and 8.
Remember, with Texas Tech, they've given up big plays, but the turnovers by their offense have put them in bad spots also. Been a tough night for Greg McMackin and his crew. They need a huge stand here to try and get the ball back to their offense.
Two wide receivers to the right, one to the left for the Cyclones. Texas Tech blitzes. Throw it into the flat. Pass is complete. Stretching over the 40-yard line is Jack Whitmer, the junior out of Grinnell, Iowa. And the former walk-on. Already graduated from Iowa State. In fact, he did it in 3 years working on his MBA. That's pretty good.
That's awfully impressive, and was rewarded with a scholarship by Dan McCarney, who does a great job of running a walk-on program and rewarding guys who give great effort and have loyalty to the program. It's another first down for Iowa State.
How good is it, though, to have players like Danielson and Whitmer, who are so reliable on their receiving? Well, fans, for exclusive news and recruiting coverage of your favorite teams, log on now to Rivals.com. These guys, though, you throw the ball anywhere near them, they're coming down.
And the thing to keep in mind about them, especially Danielson, don't get over enamored with the idea that he's a walk-on. No. This guy's a great athlete. They've talked about him being the best athlete on the team. Sometimes he just missed guys in the recruiting process.
Wagner on the carry.
Wagner goes
talk
off
about
right
Whitmer.
tackle.
I mean, in high school, he played high school football, played baseball, basketball, and track. He was a high hurdler.
Number 46.
Well, to do that, you've got to be some kind of athlete.
Yes, and to graduate in 3 years in college, and then go on and start your MBA while playing football, you have to be more than just a good athlete and obviously an excellent student. You have to be disciplined in all aspects of your life.
Well, Lane Daniels, who's his roommate, says Whitmer's always in the books. That's all he does.
He studies more than I do. Now I'm an undergrad.
That's second down and 7 now for the Cyclones. Texas Tech brings 5. Wallace rifles it up to midfield. Montgomery dropped at the 50-yard line, just short of a first down.
Nice block by Michael Wagner, number 4, the tailback. We saw the block in open field earlier on Ricky Saylor that allowed Seneca Wallace to make a spectacular touchdown run. This was in just simple pass protection. Stepped up. He may be a little guy in stature, but he brings a pop with him. He's only 5 feet 7 inches tall himself.
Well, they're picking on Ricky Saylor at quarterback. He stands only 5'10". Third down and just a yard. Danielson in motion. They go straight ahead with Wagner. First down, Iowa State.
Let's take a look at Michael Wagner, number 4. See him as the blocker. He's going to step up and make an excellent block for his quarterback to allow Seneca Wallace time to step into the throw and deliver a strike.
You're blocking Erin Hunt there. You're not, blocking somebody that's not able to sack your quarterback.
No, you're not blocking me trying to come on a pass rush. Erin Hunt is the all-time leading sack guy at Texas Tech.
Wagner closing in on 100 yards rushing tonight. This time the spin move may have gotten back to the line of scrimmage. Nothing doing. Hiawatha Rutland came into the game as the leading runner, but Wagner got the nod tonight, and he's got the majority of the carries. Just a reminder, our next telecast will be next Saturday at 7 o'clock Eastern on TBS as the UCLA Bruins, losing a heartbreaker tonight, I might add, to Oregon. Had a chance to win it in regulation, take on the Cal Bears, who are locked in a battle with USC. That'll be coming up next week at 7 o'clock. Cal, of course, the surprise of the Pac-10 this year. 3-step drop for Wallace. Tucks it, but he is going to be dropped back at the 50-yard line. A loss of 3 on the play. Flugents is the one who finally knocked him down.
Did you see number 91, Adele Duckett, come in from the side to try and strip the ball? Texas Tech realizes they need a big play on defense to turn the ball over. And the running game that Iowa State established early in the ball game is carrying them right now because they have a physical nature about themselves. The offensive line loves coming off the ball. That's carrying them in the second half.
And the clock continues to run. 9 minutes to play in the ball game. From the shotgun, Wallace into the flat, complete. Inside the 40, down to the 38-yard line, and it's Jamal Montgomery. And they shove him back, and the fans don't like it. Well, one of the things Montgomery's been working on is his consistency. He hasn't had a touchdown reception since Iowa, was a backup 2 years, and the coaches have really challenged him to step up.
step up he did on this last pass route. Watch him as he runs the route. He's going to use his body to shield off the defender. See as he goes to the sideline? Ricky Saylor has a chance, but he has to go through Montgomery. Great job of Montgomery using his body to keep the defender on his back. And tucks it away for the first down.
Well, Dan likes it. That's his 5th reception tonight. Leads Iowa State with 5 receptions on the evening.
Was not to like if you're Dan McCarney. Another first down. They're eating up the clock. Now they can use their whole playbook again on 1st and 10.
And you know, you look at Dan right now, and everybody kept saying that last week's victory, or 2 weeks ago, the victory against Nebraska was the defining moment of the season. It won't be the defining moment unless they either run the table or they pick up the 9 and 10 wins.
And you know that privately, he told his team the exact same thing. That beating Nebraska was great, but it only means something if we close it out with a great season.
Wagner goes inside for the Cyclones.
Flugen stops Wagner. Duckett also there to make the stop.
Number 51 makes the hit for the Red Raiders.
Clock just running. 7:47. Texas Tech not doing anything about it right now. Wallace taking his time.
Notice how he's watching the play clock also before the ball snapped. Letting him use up a good amount of time.
Looking to throw it, gets hit, but he gets it away. Pass is complete. Montgomery again, his 6th reception, and another first down for Iowa State as they are surgically dismantling this Texas Tech defense.
What we saw earlier in the game was when Iowa State receivers caught the ball, what happened? The tackle was made right there, and the receiver and the runner went down. Now what are we seeing? One move, and the guy's getting upfield and getting past them.
And Texas Tech wants to talk about it because Iowa State is marching with 7:23 to go. The number 11 team in the country on their way. Plenty of time, though, left.
Honey, are these clean?
Yeah, I just did them.
Time for a new appliance? It's the Home Depot Appliance Event. This weekend only, get no payments and no interest on appliance purchases till January 2004 with your Home Depot consumer credit card. Plus, get free delivery on appliances of $3.99 or more. The Appliance Event, going on now at the Home Depot and Expo Design Center.
This ordinary-looking bed is the key to a restful night's sleep. Even though it may look like an ordinary mattress, it's more comfortable than you can ever imagine. Introducing the Nautilus Sleep System. Nautilus uses variable support chambers designed to let you control the comfort on your side of the bed. Individual remote controls allow you to increase or decrease the firmness on your side of the bed, so you can have that feather soft feel, and your spouse can get the extra firm support he or she has always wanted. Features like a wool blend pillow top for winter, a silk blend pillow top for summer, and our unique comfort layer make Nautilus the choice for a great night's sleep. It's time you feel the instant comfort of Nautilus, with no money down and payments as low as $30 a month. Try Nautilus in your home. We guarantee the best sleep you've had in years. If you're not completely satisfied within 12 weeks, return it for a full refund of the purchase price. Call now for your free video and brochure and discover instant comfort with the Nautilus Sleep System.
Iowa State leading Texas Tech 24-10, and tonight's AOL question comes from Chris Tillison in Atlanta, Georgia. He wants to know, what is ISU wrestler Cael Sanderson doing now? Well, Cael Sanderson set a record that will never be broken, only matched. The only 4-time undefeated wrestler in NCAA history with a record 159-0. Right now, Cael is an administrative assistant with the school. He is with all the other athletes at all the football games. I asked him what he was going to do now that he reached perfection. Is there a letdown after going 159-0 in college? He says, no, I can get better. I am still in training, and I hope to compete for the United States and win a gold medal at the 04 Olympics in Athens. Meanwhile, this week, he'll be nominated for the Sullivan Award as the best amateur athlete in the United States. There's your answer.
All right, Craig, well-deserved award. This is the 15th play of the drive. Over 8 minutes they've had the football. Iowa State just taking their good old time. That'll set up a 3rd down in about 5.
That's a great question. Cael Sanderson you know, he is his actual title is special assistant to the athletic director here, Bruce Van de Velden. And they allow him to work, try and get an idea of whether he likes college administration, and also work out. Stay in shape.
Well, on this drive, Greg McMackin has not been able to stop Texas Tech on third down,
which has been a problem for them all year.
That's right.
You know, for Texas Tech, being able to stop people. They're often in third and short situations. This one's about 3rd and 5.
And they are 3 for 3, Iowa State is, on third downs on this drive. 2 wide receivers to the right. Wallace throws it up for grabs. Penalty flag. Hold on. Lance Young, touchdown. Looks like it's going to be holding against Texas Tech. Let's listen in.
Defensive holding. Penalty is declined. Touchdown.
Lance Young, his 3rd touchdown reception of the year.
Take a look from our all-state camera. Lance Young getting by Ricky Saylor and beating him to the pylon. See the official right on the spot, watching it the whole way. All-state replay. Beautiful play.
And we want to thank Allstate for providing tonight's goalpost cam. You're in good hands with Allstate. 20-yard touchdown reception. How about 16 plays, 80 yards on that drive? Extra point sneaks through the right side. More importantly, Charles, it took up a lot of time.
Very methodical and finished off with a flourish. Beautiful throw. Iowa State is cruising in Ames.
In all the world, only one university can call itself the birthplace of the computer. Today, it's home to the nation's first 6-sided virtual reality theater. It's second in technology innovations, has one of the most wired campuses, as well as one of the 3 most beautiful. Iowa State University, a source of achievement, innovation, and inspiration, helping people become their best.
Turn right, 30 feet long, make it long.
Okay, freeze. This is Jen, and she has the sudden urge to learn Italian. Who can help? The Italian Institute in Chicago. Carry on.
Hello. How do you say, hi, my name is Jen. Now be a good boy and come over here and sit on Mama's lap.
This is going to take a while. Now get the most minutes to use whenever. Introducing T-Mobile. Get more.
When you look at Seneca Wallace's numbers, no, they are not huge, but what you'd have to say is he has been efficient tonight.
And oftentimes, a person who wins big awards does it with a winning team. And that's all Seneca Wallace cares about. Kliff Kingsbury, 22 touchdown passes coming into the game, 0 tonight. That's a big kudos to John Skladany and his defense for Iowa State.
Well, Kingsbury leads the NCAA in yards and touchdown passes. And when you look at the total numbers, only 7 yards separate these 2 teams in total yards. 367 for Texas Tech, 374 for Iowa State.
And you mentioned Seneca Wallace being efficient. He did have one big highlight reel play tonight, though.
Oh, yeah. And again, the kickoff will go out of bounds. Penalty flags are thrown, and Texas Tech will take over on their own 35.
Receivers take possession at the 35-yard line, 1st down.
Well, you can see what Texas Tech has done for the year, just a shade over 38, 14th best in the country, and tonight they've only hung 10. But at times, the Texas Tech offense looked like it was moving.
It was, and it made plays. The problem was 3 turnovers. Those were drive stoppers. See Coach McCarney, you know, he may be up 38-10 right now.
Yeah.
But he's, 31-10, but he's still coaching because that's Tony Yelt getting an earful for kicking the ball out of bounds again.
Kingsbury has to dump it off in the flat, and the pass is incomplete, intended for Henderson. I'll tell you why he's doing that, because you look at the schedule. Iowa State, I'm telling you, it doesn't get any easier. After tonight, of course, they play at Oklahoma next week. And Oklahoma looked very impressive with their running game against Texas tonight, something they haven't been able to do during the year. How about that?
And look at the run here. You know, Oklahoma, then Texas, Missouri, who's gotten to be awfully dangerous. The Big 12 is just flat out loaded.
Keeping it on the ground with Henderson, trying to get away. Tackled by Jordan Karstens, who was injured early in the game, came back. Back problem seems to be okay. I mean, you look at Missouri, too. I mean, Coach Pinkel's got those guys playing. They're a tough team, and now you see Karstens limping off again. He's a warrior, though.
Yes, he is. We didn't even get down to Kansas State, Colorado, still left on the schedule.
Ooh. Kingsbury's pass up to the 50-yard line. It'll be short hop. Let's see what the officials say. We got 3 officials running on it. They're saying it's completed. Preston Hartfield on the reception.
This is the part of Texas Tech that scares you if you're Dan McCarney and John Skladany, their ability to put up points in a hurry. And again, they're guys who've been down a few times already this year. They've been comfortable with that.
Kingsbury again, double clutches, has to throw it underneath the coverage. Inside the 45, it is Henderson. Henderson has 10 catches already in tonight's ball game.
They call their back the F-back. You know, most people call him a tailback or an A-back, as Nebraska does the F-back. I'm not sure what F stands for, but for Torian Henderson,
finest.
He's pretty fine back.
Well, he only had 32 receptions coming into tonight. He's got 1/3 of those tonight. Keeping it on the ground. Henderson looking for the 30, gets to the 32-yard line. Brandon Brown and Steve Paris. There's the redshirt freshman out of Dallas coming up from the free safety spot. Now let's take a look at tonight's All-State good hands play. How about little Ellis Hobbs III?
Came early in the ball game. Ball went off of Wes Welker, who normally has good hands, and Ellis Hobbs showed the excellent ones catching the football.
Texas Tech keeping it on the ground to Henderson. Okay, if you're a Texas Tech fan, you're at home right now. You're throwing your chips and your Pepsi at the TV screen saying, why are they running it with 3:38 to play?
But one thing people have to remember at home, every first down stops the clock. And the way that Texas Tech moves their offense, they can get up on the ball, call their play, and fire out a lot quicker than people think. Notice the clock wasn't moving until the ball was spotted. So they're not losing as much time as people think.
3 wide receivers to the left. Iowa State brings 5. Kingsbury in trouble, and he'll be dropped.
And inbounds. So the clock continues to
Kingsbury is tackled inbound.
Karsten, who was hobbling just a couple of plays before, he sprints to make this out.
He's a tough old kid. Remember, a former walk-on who built himself up from a 228-pound freshman to a 300-pound senior. He got hurt early in this game, missed a few plays, but has come back out and is still running the field.
2nd and 11. No, we've got penalty flags. Looks like there was a little motion on the offensive side of the football.
Before the snap occurred, there was a false start on the offense. 5-yard penalty, 2nd down.
Notice now Iowa State, you see the sign for defense. In their defense, they've gone with the multiple defensive backs look, what they call their buff package. 6 defensive backs out on the field, just 3 down linemen, that were in the middle. But now 6 defensive backs to help cover.
Yep. Now they're changing the game clock.
3:01 on the game clock,
We're going to add 3 seconds. Anything for a man by the name of Bible. You don't argue with the Bible, ladies and gentlemen.
Notice it went up there pretty fast.
It went up real quick. It was an answer to Texas Tech's prayers.
You see that's 3 down linemen up front for Iowa State. Rush 3, drop 8.
Here comes Kingsbury looking for somebody. Great coverage by Iowa State, and they'll have to eat it. Matt Word held his ground at that middle linebacker spot until Kingsbury made the move. Then Word came in to make the stop.
And they'll take that each and every time, as we see Mike Leach in our super shot trying to get his call signaled in. Kliff Kingsbury trying to hurry up his team.
Now they're running out of time. 2.5 to play in the ball game. Again, good coverage by Iowa State. Again, the pressure. Kingsbury complete. Welker looking for Pater. Gets close. No. Stopped at the 1. Well, it's not over yet.
No. We talked about the best laid plans earlier. John Skladany's strategy was working. Taking time off the clock. Rush 3, drop 8. But Kingsbury found a receiver. What is predicated on also is Mark Timmons, number 18, making the tackle on the spot. When you miss the tackle, that all goes by the boards.
Well, it's 1st and goal with 2:19 to play for Texas Tech. Kingsbury throws it up for grabs. Touchdown, Texas Tech. Carlos Francis on the touchdown reception, and it's not over.
Will not see a prettier pass thrown anywhere on that route. Wide receiver bending to the sideline in the end zone. The ball was in the perfect spot. Only one person could catch the pass.
How about that stat?
Look at that.
Over half his touchdown passes have come in the 4th quarter or overtime. And they tack on the extra point. They still have 2:15 to play. And it's a 14-point game. Little touch pass. Kliff Kingsbury to Carlos Francis. And the Red Raiders have pulled within 31-17.
In-state rivals battle it out on Big Play Saturday. First up, the UCLA Bruins are out to claw their way to the top of the Pac-10 when they take on Kyle Bowler and the ferocious attack of the Cal Golden Bears. Then, the Movie Bowl takes you back to the gridiron with a classic, Rudy. Big Play Saturday kicks off with UCLA versus Cal, followed by Rudy on the Movie Bowl. Next Saturday at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific on TBS Superstation. Presented by T-Mobile and DiscoverCon.
You don't need to be a sanitation engineer to know garbage when you see it. Looks like you'll be folding faster than the Argentine army in '82. Oh, well. Buck up, soldier. The night is young. Lucky for you, there's also a lightweight to live. The high life.
More like this.
Want expert help whenever you need it? At Office Depot, our people listen, understand, and help.
How can I make these look like they're not just from my home office?
Some digital.
It'd be nice if everything was like that. Office Depot. What you need to know.
TBS Big Play Saturday, brought to you by T-Mobile. Get more minutes, more features, more service. By Gateway, a better way. By Wrangler and Wrangler's new 5-star premium denim jeans. And by the Home Depot, driving down the cost of home improvements. Well, this goes under the heading of no secret. Seneca has been efficient tonight. He's led his team to the 14-point advantage, the number 11 team in the country. Now Texas Tech is going to try to do what everybody knows they're going to do. Great house. The little pop pooch kick. Right down at the 30-yard line, stopped by Seneca Wallace. Here's Ernie Johnson at the Big Game House.
Hey, thank you, Ron. Coming up after the game, I've got highlights. We got good games today. Oklahoma and Texas, FSU, Miami, Georgia, Tennessee, you name it. And then it's the Movie Bowl with Cherie Christian and Matt Arden. What's up tonight, y'all?
I will, of course, be dropping more college tips on you guys, the useful kind.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we have Above the Law with Steven Seagal.
And I looked back here and I saw a bunch of hair cutting supplies. Right? You're going to be cutting hair.
That's all Matt.
I can't. I'm not privy to that. I don't know.
I saw the Flowbee back there, too. The only guy I know who uses a Flowbee is Ron Thulin. Ron.
How did you know? I thought you were going to get me about my Chia Pet hair again, Ernie. Hey, Charles, did Ernie tell you that Georgia beat Tennessee?
All right now.
well, right now, Iowa State 2:09 to play in the ball game. They just need to hold on to it, have a little ball security. Keeping it on the ground with Wagner. Texas Tech is going to burn a timeout. And we're going to take a quick break. 2:03 to play. Iowa State that far away from a win.
Reviewing our last fiscal year, the numbers from January were slightly better than the numbers from February. However, the numbers in January were identical to the numbers in March. The numbers in April were slightly lower than the numbers in March, but identical.
Like playing games? Come to Best Buy, where you can play the latest video games and try out a lot of other cool stuff. Best Buy. Go ahead, turn on the fun.
The ball on the ground. Now let's take a look at tonight's Wrangler 5-star play of the game. The touchdown by Seneca Wallace. Watch this.
Look at that block.
Goes 60 yards to go 11, huh? Wrangler, real comfortable jeans.
As I watched him tightrope the sideline, what did you think of what I thought of?
I thought it
Florida
was
State.
Florida State. That's
him
exactly
on the
right.
sideline, definitely in bounds this time. Of course, depending on where your perspective on that game,
That's right.
Was he in, was he out?
Yeah, they're just going to try on the left side on 3rd down and 8-0 doing, and Texas Tech will get the ball back at least one more time. But Texas Tech is now out of timeouts.
Erin Hunt makes the stop for Texas Tech.
Well, tonight's U.S. Army players of the game, powered by America Online, are Kliff Kingsbury. Completed 64%, or 64% of the people thought he should be the player of the game. 74% thought Seneca Wallace should be the player of the game. Kingsbury led his offense to 437 yards. And they only come up with 17 points. Play clock down to 8.
Just let it run out.
Let it run. Then they only have to have one punt.
Take the penalty and punt it. Or
There it
take
is.
the timeout. They took the timeout so they wouldn't give up the 5 yards.
That's strong. You can see Dan McCarney saying, good job to everybody. Good job. And Mike Leach will have to go back to the drawing board. 30 seconds to play. He's out of timeouts. Trails by 14. No miracle comeback tonight.
Which means they have to go all out for the punt block here in order to try and create a turnover.
Seneca doesn't waste any time. Get a little John Hancock action on the sidelines.
Doesn't want to disappoint his public.
No.
And who's that young man who was able to get down there and get that done?
You know,
He gets the wristband.
Little Tyler Hanson's his name.
Tyler Hanson. All right, Tyler.
He's wearing the right jersey number to get an autograph, isn't he?
That's right. Very humble person, Seneca Wallace. Not caught up in the hype of the Heisman.
Like to have the concession on number 15 Iowa State jerseys right now.
I would love that too. Well, Iowa State's going to kick it away with 30 seconds left. Yeah, they didn't get the block. Good kick against the wind. Welker backed all the way up. It'll head out of bounds. No return.
Great job directional punting so they wouldn't give up a punt return to Welker.
And Dan McCarney's squad add another victory. They'll go to 6-1, 3-0, more importantly, in Big 12 play, and they are in the picture in that Big 12 North.
You know, the tough part for them is when we pointed out their schedule before, you're looking for a so-called weak spot, weak game.
I don't think it's there.
How about this? Think of it in these terms. Iowa State used to be that game for so many people. No longer.
Yeah, look at it. I mean, they've got Colorado's undefeated, Kansas State right behind. And don't count out Nebraska, my friends. They have struggled, but they may be there. Kingsbury throws underneath. Complete to Henderson, and that should do it. Texas Tech trying to line up quickly as the clock goes inside of 10.
Should get one more off.
Look at Scolani. Everybody, get back. Play center field. They will get one more off. Kingsbury. Pass is complete up to the 45-yard line to Welker. He was thinking about pitching it back. Tried it. Did it. Just fall on it. And that's the way it's going to end. Well, not a pretty ending, but the Iowa State fans, again, they're getting accustomed to running out of the football field as Dan McCarney keeps his record perfect in the Big 12. Kliff Kingsbury getting the kudos from Dan. And they go to 6-1 on the year. Seneca Wallace keeps those Heisman Trophy hopes alive. Big Play Saturday has been presented to you by Best Buy and T-Mobile. Once again, the final score, Iowa State, number 11 in the country, take care of Texas Tech 31-17, and Seneca Wallace is with our Craig Sager.
Well, Seneca, you came into a game against another quarterback, both players talking about Heisman. After the first half, 3-3, what did you try to do in the second half differently?
Just try to get, get something going, get a rhythm. It was tough. They were playing us good in the first half, and we just try to come out and just play, make plays. That's all.
Making big plays is something you've done your whole career, but what about that touchdown run? What did you see? How did you stay so patient? And what about the block you got from Michael Wagner?
Well, I just out there, we all playmakers. We try to make plays, and the the route was broken, and I just try to make a play with my feet, and Mike made a good block for me and sprung me into the end zone.
The Heisman is something that's voted on, but obviously you've upheld your part. How do you feel about it, all the Heisman hype that's going to be hitting everybody and all the voters next week?
Well, I really can't hear what you're saying, but I think it sounds good that I'm up for it, but we just got to keep winning ball games.
Well, if they could vote here in Ames, I think it'd be unanimous tonight. Back to Ron.
All right, Craig, absolutely. Well, Seneca Wallace has his fans here in Ames, Iowa. And for the latest scores and in-depth analysis, the final score again, 31-17. But for final and latest scores, in-depth analysis, CNNSI.com. Sports Illustrated at CNN Speed. And our next telecast will be next Saturday at 7 o'clock Eastern on TBS as the UCLA Bruins take on the Cal Bears. And Big Play Saturday continues with the Movie Bowl as Steven Seagal stars in Above the Law. For Charles Davis, Craig Sager, Erin Andrews, and the rest of the crew, I'm Ron Thulin saying good night from Ames for the final score. Iowa State wins it 31-17.